Alright, what is up everybody? We are back for day 2 of the Pyre Golathanian Cup, the multiplayer Pyre tournament brought to you by the Rite Club. My name is Lids, I will be your host for today. And as a reminder, last week we had day 1 of the tournament, in which we had our group stage, and let me just throw up the results of that here. Strong performances across the board, but we saw Cam take the day with a 3-0 performance, so she is leading the field at the moment. However, everyone is still in because that was the way in which we determined our seeding for today's elimination bracket. So you will see here that now we have Cam with a first round bye, and other than that, we'll have Kurturp and Aqua facing each other for the right to play Cam in the next round. Myself and Lag facing off, as well as SSE and Laughing Pineapple. And today we will have, like we did last week, best 3 out of 5 will win the series. And then, unlike last week, if you do win the series, you will move on to the next round. Whereas if you lose the series, you will be eliminated. So, if at any point in time you would like to see either one of these documents, you can hit the commands in chat for the first one, the schedule. You can type in !! Standings, and you'll get the chance to look back at what happened last week. If you hit ! Bracket, you'll see this document that we're looking at right here to see today's bracket. Now, obviously, last week's standings are done and dusted at this point. Those aren't going to change, whereas the bracket is going to be live and changing as we go about today's tournament. However, bear in mind that we will have our predictions active, so your lid coins will be on the line, and you might find it useful to reference back to the results from last week to see how you ought to throw down your lid coin. So, without further ado, let's head back over into the game itself. And there you see are the links as well in chat. So, let's hop on in. And to lead things off today, we will begin with our first match as SSE versus Laughing Pineapple. So let me send some invites to them right now. And let me open up Team Friends as well. All right. Invites have now been sent. Oh, will we have Aqua versus Kurturp first? My mistake. In that case, we will go Aqua versus Kurturp first. After all, we'll just go in order of where you see on the bracket there. In which case, I will proceed to boot people that I just invited. My apologies. My apologies. Aqua versus Kurturp in that case, and this is the middle pairing between, I believe they are the 4 and 5 seed, the two of them. Let me send them invites as well. In what could therefore be the closest match of the day, perhaps. Alright, invites sent to you both. And so what we saw last week was that Kurturp, a new entrant to the Rite Club, went 2-1, and Aqua went 1-2. And now it's time to start throwing down those predictions, and well, let me hop into Discord chat as well real quick. There we are. Okay, perfect. And Aqua and Kurturp, if one of you could just... I believe you're both going to be playing on controller, if I'm not mistaken, in which case, if one of you could just hit your bumpers to verify whether you are player 1 or player 2, that would be perfect. Or move around your cursor and see if that person who's able to move their cursor right now is this Aqua or Kurturp. In which case, that person who can move their cursor is player 1. I will name you accordingly. on stream.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Doing well.
Kurcher, are you the one who's able to move your cursor around at this stage? Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. And in that case, it sounds like Kurcher is player 1 here. And Aqua, are you going mouse keyboard today, or are you going controller?
I can move the cursor with my controller.
That's odd. Aqua, if you could just hit your bumpers real quick and just see which team, if any, changes their sigil.
Okay. So yeah, I'm second.
But yeah, so who's that who's moving this here?
Sorry.
Like, who is that who's changing Nightwings to true Nightwings?
That's me.
Okay. Yeah, Kurtrip is player 2 in that case. All right. Let me throw your names down there in that case, and Aqua will be representing the Nightwings, whereas Kurtrip will be representing the Fate. All right. In that case, let's do it. We're ready to go. First rite of the night. And like I said, what could be our perhaps closest matchup of the whole day?
Welcome, exiles. Welcome to the Book of Rites. At stake here in this rite is your salvation. Let us see which one of you is more deserving. Nightwings, stand ready. The Fate, stand ready.
Okay, so as a reminder, these two will send in their teams, lock in ahead of time. That way they can't counterpick each other. And as they're doing that, I may just quickly turn off the in-game music here, because I believe we have, if I'm not mistaken, we've thrown on some thrash packs here. In which case we might actually need to resort to TariqBot to make that happen, rather than the in-game music. But I overlooked the thrash pack to begin with. How dare I? I know. We're all locked in already. All right, good to go in that case. Aqua, you may now select your team. And the thrash pack is on. Alright, and Aqua is leading off with a Volfred here. We've seen Aqua typically relies on a combination of Saps and Savages. And we also saw Kurcher likewise relying heavily on Savages and perhaps Saps as well. So I think in that regard, this could be a very interesting matchup as well. Potentially very similar teams. However, potentially some slight differences between them in terms of how they specifically set up those characters. Typically speaking, Aqua will use more of a jumping-centric Savage, whereas I believe Kurtrip was most dangerous with the quick-throwing Savages last week. So we'll have to see if either one of them opts to continue to go with that strategy here. Kurtrip beginning with Rookie. Now, second spot here for Aqua. And here is the Savage. And there you see, yes, all the way down on the right side, we'll have the teleportation, which you tend not to see other people take. Aqua a little bit unique in that regard, but he is used to it, and can catch some people off guard with it if you're not prepared. And here is Kurtrip's quick-throwing Savage. They'll be using the Stowaway. Then a second Savage here from Aqua. Don't necessarily think we've seen that too often from him. Very offensive setup. No, okay. Snadra, I think, is generally the person that we saw as his third character last week. More defensive setup, especially with Gold Spracer there for the big power casts. Then next one here for Kurtrip will in fact be Volfred. So yes, a Savage and a Sap for each of them. Key difference here will be the Nomad on Aqua's side versus the Kerr on Kurtrip's side. Perhaps making Kurtrip have a little bit more of an offensive setup versus Aqua's a little bit more defensive setup. But here we go. Let the games begin. And like we were saying, Aqua tends to go with more of the jumping route with those Savages, and did so just then. Did have prayer beads, so that means that Almer is back here, although Kurturp on the attack with a quick throw.
Aim was true.
Sneaks it in for 20 damage. That leaves us tied at 80 apiece. And Aqua will oftentimes throw those saplings directly on top of the orb and then follow up with a quick play from the Savages, as we see there. That is likely to be the plan. Just like that. Protect the orb and then teleport to it with the Savages. Oh, but was looking to hop in there and miss the target. Opportunity for Kurturp to punish Aqua for that mistake there, but Aqua defends successfully. Takes it in with Snadra here. Plunging for 20, which is not necessarily what Aqua would have preferred to do, because Snadra does not have Prayer Beads, so she is not coming back here. Aqua now down to just 2 characters, and Kurturp goes in with a 20 damage throw here. And Aqua holding on to a 1-score lead, a 20-point lead here. But builds on that with another Almer plunge here. And Aqua, technically speaking, if you were to go by the seeds, is the underdog here. But we're seeing, at least to begin with, holding on to a lead and intercepting that throw. Almer, anyone back to defend him? Oh, hops over to the opposite side. But Kurturp back in time to defend. An opportunity for Kurturp. Ooh, double banishment, so just Volfred. Probably not the character that Kurturp particularly wants to be attacking with. And Volfred down. The Rookie is back. Now the Stowaway as well. See how Kurturp chooses to respond. Going on the attack here. Quick throw. Just barely intercepted there from Snadra. Almer hops in, but blocked. Volfred goes down. Almer versus Rookie. Rookie retreats. Has the Stowaway. Ooh, but she gets banished before she can throw it off. Almer back in and takes it.
Good game.
Well played, you two. And I think this is going to be a very close series. First match goes to Aqua. GG. Oh, also, worth mentioning that I do not believe these two have ever played each other either. Worth noting.
True.
We did in the last set.
Oh,
Did you?
Last week.
Did you end up playing each other last week?
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one game I won.
Aqua, I have you written down as SSC, Pineapple, and Cam, if I'm not mistaken. And then Kurturp, I have you against me, Lag, and Pineapple. I don't think you two played each other last week. I think this is your first bout.
Could have sworn I played you.
All right. And we have more Thrash Packs to go. In fact, tell you what, I'm gonna bump up the Thrash Pack volume a little bit here. Felt like that just wasn't quite Thrash Packy enough for me. I don't know about you, but I feel like Thrash Packs, they could perhaps be a little bit stronger here going forward. And we'll see where we end up with our next Rite as well. Here, yes, the trickling water of the Spring of Jomir.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So these two will send their teams in, lock them in, and we'll see if they go for a similar setup this time around. Aqua, of course, emerging victorious in that matchup, or is that reason to switch things around? We were in one of, if not the smallest arena, the Book of Rites. Now, Spring of Jomir, relatively neutral. Middle of the ground in most respects. Is that potentially reason to change things at all? Yeah, I also did forget to put Thrash Pack back on, but we got Tariq Bot, don't worry. So we saw a relatively narrow victory last time from Aqua. And you might say that, okay, after Aqua emerged victorious in the previous Rite, perhaps reason to stick with what he's done thus far until that is no longer successful. But we're all locked in here, so Aqua, you're free to take your team, and we shall see if he does in fact go with the same team, or if he does choose to switch something around here. And that he does. Led off with Volfred last time. This time, though, going with Pamitha, which is quite different, for sure. Oh, with Thorned Knot as well. Ooh, looked like for a second he was considering Prayer Beads, which is and oftentimes one of the go-to talismans for a more offensively oriented Pamitha, but went for a more defensive talisman instead. Kerchirp here, going with Dalbert, did lead off with a Kerr last time. Same talisman as well. Next one here from Aqua. Already seen that he is changing things up at least a bit. But the Savage, that much does not change. Almer will be the one with prayer beads, as we saw last time. Kerchirp, sticking with the stowaway. And sticking with the quick throws as well. Certainly been Kerchirp's most successful strategy thus far, both today and certainly last week as well. And it did work 2 out of 3 times last week. Did fairly well last time around, but as we can see here, Aqua is changing things up quite a bit, throwing in a demon as his third character, whereas Kerchirp, seemingly going for Volfred here, would suggest that they're going for largely, if not entirely, the same team. Additional presence there for larger aura on Volfred. And here we go for round 2. Aqua having taken the first match between these two. But it's Kerchirp for the first score here. 20 damage throw from the stowaway. Pamitha with a big banishment to lead things off, and there is Almer to teleport to the orb to follow up, and Plunge to level it at 80 apiece. Pamitha back at it. Kerchirp picks it up but gets banished. Pamitha down though. Almer teleports to the orb but goes down. Just Vispaleth here for Aqua, but she banishes 1, banishes 2, and banishes the last of Kerchirp's characters, but Almer, or rather Dalbert is back now, as is Almer. He ends up in the sapling. Dalbert can't escape Pamitha. Pamitha on a tear here, but Dalbert's back. Does not quite have the range to get that in with the throw. Here's Almer. Pops, but blocked. Free orb. Almer takes it back and makes it in. Aqua retakes the lead. Dalbert can't quite sidestep Pamitha here. Takes out Volfred as well. Dalbert's back, but cornered by Vispaleth. For a moment there, you saw the Numbing Gust taking effect when everyone on Kerchirp's side is banished. Aqua cannot sprint, throw, or use any other special abilities. Free orb. Kerchirp takes it. Oh, except teleportation here from Almer onto the orb and takes out Dalbert in the process. Dalbert gets rid of Almer before he can banish anyone. Stowaway, leaps into that Pamitha cast. Pamitha gets rid of Volfred, but Dalbert back again, takes out Pamitha. Vispaleth retreats. No, it's Almer making a move here. Again, teleporting to the orb. And remember, would prefer to jump. And makes it in here with prayer beads, so he'll be back. Dalbert goes down, gives up to the Stowaway. Stowaway, just ever so slightly short on the throw, but leaps over and goes for the plunge. 20 damage, yes, but she does not have prayer beads. She had the quick throwing talisman. So, not necessarily what Kerchirp was looking to do there, but saw the opportunity and went for it. Here you see the exploding saplings from Kerchirp. But a huge Pamitha cast there. Banishes 2, but Dalbert back just in time. And with Lucky Break, he'll be back soon. Picks up the orb before Vispaleth can do anything with it. Looking for an angle to get past Pamitha. Goes for the throw, but it gets intercepted. Almer on the move. Going for the jump. He's blocked. Goes for the cast, takes out Volfred. And follows in the 20-point plunge. Dropping Kerchirp down to just 20. One more of those, and that could be game. Stowaway throws it in. 20 damage there, and Kerchirp isn't finished yet. Dalbert picks it up quickly. Gives up to the Stowaway. Stowaway with the throw, and makes it in. Puts us at 20 apiece. Notably, Aqua does not have a sap anymore, and therefore does not have any rekindling. And that means that Kerchirp takes it with this quick Savage throw, and we are level at 1 game apiece.
Good game.
GG. The speediest of stowaways.
until the stars align.
So we are all tied up at 1 apiece. Alright, and now I will remember to actually throw on Thrash Pack here. And I'll put the in-game music back on as well. There we go. Okay. Stowaway has earrings. This just in. Could that be her secret power that leads her to be able to throw the orb so quickly? Perhaps. Alright, so we are all tied up at 1 apiece here. See where we end up this time. Nest of Triesta is a tricky arena, what with the lava, and one of the larger ones as well. We saw Aqua succeed in the small Book of Rites. We saw Kurtrip succeed in what was a more neutral Spring of Jomir. See if that has any bearing on what we might see here. We also saw Kurtrip stuck with the same team both times round, whereas Aqua changed between round 1 and round 2. Does that mean Aqua will stick with what he did the first time, the second time, something entirely different? We'll have to see. And we are locked in. Aqua, you are good to go. And is leading off with Volfred here, and notably does have a little bit of rekindling. So we'll have a small second life bar. And I believe that is the setup that Aqua went for, at least to lead things off in the first match. Which was, of course, the match in which he was victorious, so maybe more of the same here. Will it lead to the same results? Now that's the big question. This time, Kurtrip mixing up a little bit. Still Dalbert first, however, goes for the Speedy Talisman instead. Here is Ulmer, as per usual, taking up the second spot. Oh, except once again, this time Aqua switching things up a little bit, goes for the quick throwing talisman rather than the prayer beads. So we may see more of a throwing-oriented Ulmer rather than a jumping and plunging Ulmer, as we've seen in the previous 2 rights coming from Aqua. But quick throwing Stowaway is what Kurtrip has done in the past, so it will be more of a similar matchup, or a similar setup between these two, at least when it comes to the Savages. And then still will be Goals Bracer on Snadra in the last spot here for Aqua. Kurtrip.
Welcome.
We'll be going with Volfred again. Thank you, A-Kiss, for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the tournament here. And Kurtrip does stick with the additional presence. Oh, and well-placed sapling there. Locks down the orb, giving time to jump in, but Aqua may have forgotten, did not go with prayer beads this time. That jump means that now he is down Ulmer. Would have worked in the previous setup, but now needs to be relying more heavily on those throws. Kurtrip can't make it past that big sapling. Snadra, not necessarily the one that Aqua wants to be scoring with. That is especially one of the dangers here with Aqua having jumped in with Ulmer, is he has lost his best offensive character. That's going to be a hard orb to get, though, at least for Kurtrip. So Aqua needs to play it patiently here, find a way to somehow ideally throw the orb in, so that way he's not down any characters, and even if it's a quick throw, that will give him Ulmer back. Because as things currently stand here, oh, well, everyone vanished. At least for a minute there on Kurtrip's side, though Dalbert comes back quickly. Snadra, she's blocked and banished.
Farewell, Sandra.
As things currently stand, certainly advantage Kurtrip. A throw intercepted here. Dalbert. Waiting to get the stamina back. Goes for the throw. No. Goes it backward. Retreats. Gives up to the Stowaway. And the throw. That makes it in for 20. Equaling things at 80 apiece. However, that does now mean that Aqua will have Ulmer back. Dalbert down. Snadra. Aqua likely just waiting for Ulmer to return now that he is back. Gives it up to Ulmer, but he goes down to the cast there. Stowaway banishes another, and just Volfred back to defend, and that is not enough to stop the Stowaway. That means that Kerchirp takes the lead here. Dalbert up to the Stowaway, who just barely makes it in with the jump without ending up in the lava, which is easier said than done in this arena, and sneaks in another throw. So momentum certainly swinging in Kerchirp's direction here. Oh, but that time ends up in the Sapling Aura. The Stowaway down. Also worth reminding that Aqua does have some rekindling coming from Volfred, whereas I do not believe that Kerchirp does. So Aqua does have a second life bar. So a little bit misleading, the number that you see on Aqua's screen there. Volfred down. But it's Dalbert here who's dangerous. No one back to defend. Sneaks in a quick throw, but a throw nonetheless. Dealing 9 damage, and again, momentum continuing to go toward Kerchirp here. Extending the lead. And does manage to nab the orb there. Dalbert goes down. Ulmer, certainly the preferred offensive character here. And does have that quick throw. So that is the key for Aqua if he is to make a comeback, is to lean heavily on those Ulmer throws, much like Kerchirp is doing, with the Stowaway right here. But it's hard to stop. That drops Aqua down to 11 life. As we were saying, do believe that he has 10 rekindling. So we'll have a second life bar. So I believe it will take 2 Kerchirp scores. And there is one of them. Drops Aqua down to 10. However, Dalbert did not have prayer beads, so that means that Kerchirp is now down a character. So advantage Aqua, at least for the moment. Kerchirp trying to defend the Pyre. But Volfred down. Oh, but look at that. The orb making it inside the safety of the sapling. Stowaway finishes it. Kerchirp
Good game.
takes match 3 for a 2-1 lead in this series.
The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. All right.
Until the next rite.
Okay, I believe we're still on more thrashbacks at this point, right? Did we have 4? Yeah, we do now. I just forgot to set the thrashback to begin with. Then I remembered. This is the last of the packs. Oh, man. Let's see if that changes anything here, but... Okay, we'll head on in to this next one. And because this is best 3 out of 5, that means if Kerchirp is to win this match, Kerchirp would take the series and advance and eliminate Aqua, whereas Aqua needs 2 wins in a row if he is to defeat Kerchirp. And we are at the Pit of Malith, which is one of the other smallest arenas. Our pack stack is all out, now we're thrashing on the ground in pain. Oh dear. And we did see Kerchirp change things around a little bit in the previous rite, and succeeded in doing so. Aqua has been a little bit more aggressive with those changes. But I still believe we've seen Kerchirp use the same exiles every time. It's just been minor changes to talismans, more than anything.
Choose someone.
SSC says Islak is Bay. Not sure I've heard that one before. We are locked in. Good luck to you both.
Volfred.
Aqua leads off with Volfred. Kerchirp leading off with Dalbert again. Going back to the Mooncrest.
Dalbert.
Did not use that talisman in the previous rite, but did in the ones before that. That'll make it easier for Dalbert to come back quickly from banishment. And then, don't think we've seen any Kers yet from Aqua, but
Dalbert.
bringing out a Dalbert of his own with prayer beads this time, so likely to be his most aggressive plunging scorer. But every time previously, Aqua has used Ulmer in that second spot, so it'll be interesting to see if he does still stick with Savage as his third character, or if he abandons that strategy altogether. Stowaway there with a quick throwing talisman from Kurturp, as per usual. And it will be no Snadra, which was usually the third character for Aqua. Strong defensively, yes. But that means no Savage for the first time for Aqua. Definitely perhaps his most significant departure from his previous strategy this time around. But Kurturp sticks with Bolfred in the third spot here, with the additional presence on the aura. And here we go. And Friendly Llama, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Here's Aqua, putting that curve to good use here. 20 damage plunge to get things started. The other Dalbert for Kurturp. Oh, look at that. Seemingly for a minute there, everyone banished on Kurturp's side. However, did take the quick respawning from Dalbert, but couldn't make it past the sapling. Here's Aqua's Dalbert. Leaps in for 20 damage plunge and extends the lead here. Aqua can't place the sapling down quickly enough. Kurturp has it with the stowaway. Typically been the most dangerous character in Kurturp's hands. Certainly the leading scorer on Kurturp's side. But everyone gone here for Kurturp. Did not get the quick respawn to trigger here from Dalbert. The opposing Dalbert from Aqua goes down after an attempt to make it into the Pyre there, but Stowaway is back. Leaps, and she's within range here. Oh, but she's off target. She goes down. Bolfred. Snadra. Definitely Dalbert would be the preferred offensive character here for Aqua. Has him now. And jumps in. Continues it here. Has Prayer Beat, so he can keep on doing this. Dalbert will continue to come back. And it's been working thus far. Big power cast from Snadra. Gets rid of everyone. But Dalbert does come back quickly, as does the Stowaway. That is one of the strengths of Kurturp's team. Certainly, at the very least, Dalbert. Very quick to come back from banishment. So hard to keep him out entirely, but everyone banished here. There you see it. Dalbert comes back almost immediately, just 1 second later. When Aqua nearly snuck past with his own Dalbert there. Kurturp has it now, though. Waiting to get the stamina back, and oh, just a little bit short on that throw, it would seem. Yes! But comes sprinting in, follows up for the plunge. That being the first score here from Kurturp. So still advantage Aqua. And I do believe that Aqua has Rekindling, whereas Kurturp does not. Everyone banished here, and Kurturp did not have Prayer Beads on Dalbert, and so Kurturp's biggest strength, or one of his strengths defensively, we were talking about, being able to come back quickly from banishment, gone there, and perhaps a difference maker. Aqua able to plunge for 20, and that means one more of those, and Kurturp would go down. However, Kurturp not done yet. 20 damage score here with the throw from the Stowaway. Certainly not going to go down without a fight. Here is the Stowaway, and that throw sneaks in for another 20 damage. Chipping away at Aqua's Pyre, and a few more of those. Would take 3 to entirely reduce that Pyre life. Now 2. However, remember, I do believe that Aqua has the Rekindling, so we will see a second life bar pop up after that. So a little bit misleading in that way. Oh, but here is the Stowaway. Oh, nearly got a throw off there, but Aqua quick enough with Dalbert. Speaking of Dalbert, oh, that could have been game right there. But Kurturp able to stop Dalbert before he could score. Stowaway, and oh, everyone down to the cast here. Dalbert back quickly, stops Snadra, but Snadra turns around, banishes him. He's coming back quickly with Lucky Break, though, turns around and banishes Snadra. Kurturp back with the Stowaway now. Stowaway down. Bolfred down. Dalbert has been Aqua's most dangerous scorer. The blocked here. Retreats. Now Kurturp. Stowaway sidesteps the cast, jumps over that cast. Oh, but off the mark there. Dalbert, that could have been game, but he gets blocked, banishes one defender, but then gets banished. Stowaway with the orb. And she get within range. She can, but she's off target. Aqua with the throw from Bolfred. It has the range, but then opts to get rid of it. Gives up to Dalbert instead, and he hops in. Aqua takes match 2, and we are tied up at 2 apiece.
Good game.
Well played, both of you.
Really good.
This is real good.
All right, well, It had to happen at some point, right? We are all tied up at 2 apiece. That means the next match will take it, no matter who it is. Our first sudden death of the tournament, indeed. It is the Will of the Scribes. I believe we also have a new song, right? That was the last of our Thrash packs. Next is Will of the Scribes. Oh, that is so fitting. It's like you knew, chat. It's like you knew. All right, so who will emerge victorious? 2 enter. Only 1 will leave.
The night wings shall confront.
Zanor, who called it, well done. Okay, we're at the Ridge of Gold, which I think is a fitting arena for this matchup here. Another one of the relatively neutral arenas, so can't really say that there's any one specific strategy that always emerges victorious here. Just be down to whoever plays better. And these two have been, as expected, extremely well matched. We did see Aqua change things up a lot in the previous right. Going with a Cur for the first time and abandoning Savage. Will he opt to stick with the Cur this time, or will he go back to his old ways and stick with the Savage instead? Perturp has been holding up with the Cur, Savage, and Sap strategy. 2 offensively oriented characters and 1 defensively oriented character in the Sap. But the quick respawn times from the Cur have certainly been helpful defensively as well. But now, with everything on the line, might that get in their heads a bit? Might they feel as if they need to change something here? As if they need to do something to surprise their opponent? We are locked in here. So you are good to go here, Aqua. Best of luck to you both. And yes, very different here. Aqua leading off with an Imp. I've not seen Aqua use any Imps thus far. So that is entirely new. Kurturp sticking with Dalbert here. Which Talisman will it be? That is the primary thing we've seen Kurturp change. Is going back and forth between the Speedy Talisman with the Tailwind Crest and the quick respawn time. Goes with the speed this go around. Now, second one here for Aqua. Already, clearly a very different team. Will it be just the Imp that he switches around, or will everything else be more or less the same as what we've seen in the past? No, very different. Going with Jodariel here, a Demon. Also not a common pick for Aqua. Goes with the Speedy Jody. It will be the Stowaway here. Certainly been Perturp's most dangerous weapon thus far with the quick throwing Talisman. Keep a close eye on the Stowaway, and a second Demon here coming from Aqua. This time going with the extra presence. So a very big and strong defensive team here from Aqua. Question is perhaps, how is he planning to get the offense out of this? With some relatively slow demons and an Imp, which is typically not the speediest. But banishes everyone, except, remember, Dalbert comes back quickly. Oh, look at this though. Aqua, when he goes through the portal, gets infinite stamina, which is very dangerous on demons. That is perhaps the plan here. But at least to start off with, he had Numbing Gust active, which meant that he could not sprint and therefore could not take advantage of that infinite stamina. So, Perturp perhaps with a strong counter to what Aqua was planning to do here. Oh, and Aqua going through the portal. But that meant that he did not have anyone back in position to defend that throw, and Kurturp able to sneak in an 8 damage one there. Stowaway down. So Aqua did set up for the portals, which will give him infinite stamina when he goes through them. Which I believe the idea was to send the demons through there, send them speeding through for a big damage score. However, when everyone is banished on Kurtrup's side,
Somebody
Aqua cannot do that sprinting because Numbing Gust will activate, and Aqua was planning on banishing many of Kurtrup's characters by sending that imp in there for a big implosion. So it does mess with Aqua's strategy a bit. Can't just throw the imp at the opponents and watch everyone go down. And he could, but it will limit his offensive capabilities with those demons. Question in that case is, can Aqua banish 2 out of 3 of Kurtrup's defenders and make enough space to get in with those demons? Because if not, outside of that gimmick,
the orb has
as we're seeing here, the stowaway with that quick throwing action is perhaps the most capable scorer of everyone we've seen on the field here.
left unscathed.
Here is that infinite stamina on Vizpaleth. Knocks back one defender. But can't make it in. Can get in for those 30 damage plunges, yes, so chunkier damage, if you will, than what Kurtrup can do with the stowaway. Will only have 20 damage scores, but
Throwing in the
as you can see here, Kurtrup getting throw after throw in, and it is quickly adding up. Stowaway down. Aqua banishes one defender. Can go through now with the infinite stamina, yes. But perhaps ought to have taken the orb first. Knocks back defenders, and here it is. The 30 damage plunge. But at this point, Kurtrup still standing with a large lead here. Is it too little too late? Or can Aqua come up with a comeback here? Oh, and Aqua goes through the portal and gets banished in the process. Kurtrup's sapling on top of that portal. Here is the stowaway. Oh, but the orb hits that barrier there and sneaks in for the 20 damage throw, and with that, one more of those and Aqua would go down. Aqua running out of time. Can he work a little bit of magic here? Dalbert goes down. That could have been it. Everyone down on Kurtrup's side means Aqua cannot sprint. Goes planning to go through the portal, perhaps, but Kurtrup has it on lockdown. But Aqua sends everyone through, sends his imp through, which explodes and banishes everyone. But just Raji back now, which is perhaps not who he wants to have in this situation, but can fly in for 15 damage score. At this point, Aqua, in some regards, has to take any damage he can get to try to erase this deficit, but at the same time, if he has to go down any characters, then he does perhaps put himself at risk of getting scored on and losing. One score would do it, but 30 damage plunge, and suddenly it is anyone's game. One demon plunge would do the trick for Aqua. Is the comeback on? Vizpaleth through the portal with infinite stamina. Trying to knock back the defenders. Can't quite do so here. She steps away, and she takes it.
Good game. Wow.
For the last minute comeback.
Fantastic.
Stroke of fortune ought to be thanked.
I
Oh,
did not think I could do that.
I didn't either.
This night's proceedings.
Oh, good job.
Well played,
That was
you two.
crazy.
Well
At
done.
first, I didn't realize that I was going to be completely shut down, and then I discovered I might actually be good at this.
Yeah. Yeah. That was great. That was a great game. Good job.
Certainly our closest series and our closest matches, even perhaps, in this tournament thus far.
Oh, wow. Those infinite stamina demons were terrifying.
They are.
Oh,
They
they're
are
so
so
much more
scary.
frightening when you don't have the numbing gust thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
You did have a
Normally
very
it's
strong
just-
counter to it, Kurtur.
Normally it's
Yeah.
just sprint through and sweep the whole match, but that was that just stopped me dead.
Uh-huh. But yeah, when you could use it, you used it. Good job.
Thanks.
Well played,
Okay.
you two. All right,
This
and
means I'll have to play against Cam now. Oh,
with
no.
that does mean that Aqua advances to the next round, in which he will
Good
face none other than Cam.
All right, I'll be back then.
Thank you
Farewell.
both. I will see you, Aqua, later today. Let me also send the invite here to Lag. And yes, this time round, Steam is cooperating. Thank you, Steam. Knock on wood. All right, so let's see. I believe I'm probably gonna end up being player 1 here, and then Lag will likely end up being player 2. Okay, I will be representing the Pyre Hearts, whereas Lag will be the Chastity. Okay. Let me plug in my controller as well, and Lag, let me know when you are primed and ready to go.
I am ready.
Alright, my controller is plugged. Give it a second here to register. And turn myself into the Pyre Hearts. And just throw Lag on as the Chastity as well. Okay, and we got Path of Glory ready to go. So let's do it. Same deal as we saw in the previous series. This will be best 3 out of 5 between Lag and myself. This time around, we do not know who the winner will play in this series. The winner of this series will play the winner of the Pineapple versus SSC series, which will be coming up next. Okay, and we are in the Pit of Belief. I will proceed to lock in my team. Give me just a second here. Okay, I am locked in. And said it last week, but Lag is a difficult person to play against, because Lag has devised perhaps more strategies, more new strategies than anyone else. We are locked in and ready to go. All right, let me just, proceed to double check what I said I was going to do. Okay, I said this first. With that. Ooh, Lag going with a worm against me? What? Excuse me. All right, well, next will be Gareth. With the throwing talisman, the quick throwing talisman, that is. Is Lag? Is he doing all worms? That is a bold strategy, Cotton. A bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him. Okay, my last one is Tizo. I know, right, Rumi? That's what I'm saying. How dare he? How dare he? The nerve. Ooh, going with some leech here. See how this plays out for Aqua, or rather for Lag here. Oh, he's going with the super speedy worm strat. It is tough to stop because they will quite literally never stop coming. Quite literally, they will never stop coming. I ran out of stamina there. That was your opportunity. But eventually, just weather the storm. There we go. That's more like it. Just don't let them get the orb is kind of the key. It's kind of the key. I let them get the orb, which was problematic. Oh, no, you intercepted that. How dare you? How utterly brazen, indeed. Hold on. Hold on. Eventually he will run out of worms. It takes a very long time for that to happen, though. A very, very long time for that to happen, though. Is the thing. That's the thing. This is gonna go on for quite a bit here. One moment. Eventually, the worms will stop. But It will take a while. How many worms has this been at this point? There we go. There we go. Don't get rid of Gareth. I wanted him. Oh, that's also not who I wanted. This is who I want. No, don't intercept it. No, we're back to this again. There we go. Heart push. Okay. That's not who I wanted. This is who I wanted. Where am I going, huh? Oh no. Oh no. Back to this. More of this. Uh-oh. Have my best Banisher back here where I don't really want him. Okay. He's always in a little bit better position now. One of these days. One of these days. The worms will stop. Eventually, lag goes to the jump. Okay. Gareth? Okay, dodged a bullet there. There we go. Oh man, well played, lag. Well played. No trick shots this time. Can't really mess around too much when it comes to the never-ending worms.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played. All right. We'll head on back to versus mode.
Until the next rite.
And do we have a specific song that is in the queue for this one? More Path to Glory? Random? Nothing at all? Path again? Okay. So we'll see where we end up, and we'll see if lag is feeling so bold as to attempt all worms again.
The Pyre hearts.
That's right, you could hear them coming. It's the Isle of Kalimur.
Welcome.
Wait, what? We 5 Path to Glories? Chat. You guys went a little crazy on Path to Glories. All right, well, anyways, give me just a second here. I'll lock in my team. And we are locked in here. Okay, so for me, in the first spot, it'll be more Pamitha, more prayer beads. Both went the same. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, in that case, I think we all know what's coming. Got some more of this from me.
Exile.
Some more of that from lag. And to finish things off, a little bit of this on my side. And another worm from lag. Here goes nothing. Ooh, intercepted that. That's no good. That is no good. Because that means we are into this territory. Excuse me! Excuse me, I was right there with my aura. You walked right into it. Oh, that's less than ideal. Also, I don't really want that. Okay. My word, indeed. One of these days.
Gilman caught out. Trickery.
Trickery indeed. When will the trickery end? Your guess is as good as mine.
Unexpected.
Think we might set the record for most banishments in one rite. At least we're certainly, or one series certainly, we're on pace for it at this point, I'd say. Oh, and he gets the jump in when I was without stamina. He knows. He knows.
That one almost got through.
Okay, well. More of this.
Seemingly unfair.
You just snuck past me. I never.
Was almost cruel. How brazen.
I'd like to get Gareth back here, at least to a certain extent.
My word. Alas for Gilman.
One of these days, perhaps. Oh, mistake, lag. Mistake. One thing that you couldn't do was delay. As soon as you get another worm back, the infinite worm stops. Alright. Just don't let the worms get the orb. So simple, right? Well, easier said than done. They're kind of fast. Uh-oh. No! They're kind of fast. Ooh. And now we get back to infinite worm territory.
How fortuitous.
Okay.
Seemingly unfair.
Ah!
Burning flame to ash.
So basically what I need to do there is I need to wait it out long enough that he, it takes 8 seconds for him to get another worm to respawn, and if he does get another worm to respawn, then he no longer gets the infinitely respawning worms. But as soon as there's only one worm remaining, and I banished that last worm, I mean, he's gonna take it here, but as soon as there's only one worm remaining and I banish that worm, that's when the next worm comes in with infinite stamina, and that is a never-ending loop until you get an extra worm in, and then in that case, you banish the character, the orb just drops, and I can pick it up and try to actually do something with it, and not just be playing defense for 5 minutes straight. But well played. Yeah, I mean, you want to, but you don't have time. It's like you quite literally have half a second, and if you switch over to the wrong character, then you're out of position and you lose. So like, every once in a while, I switched characters and tried to inch someone a little bit closer to line up more auras, but, you know, you do it at your own peril.
Until the next rite.
GG, that levels things up at 1 game apiece. And still path to glory. Yeah, you really, you know, in order to do that, you basically just need to, from the get-go, commit to having everyone piled on top of the on top of your pyre. Because as soon as you get anyone, you know, halfway across the arena, you just don't have time to get everyone back in position for that, because the worms are too fast. So it's a question of, do you go and just not even try to go offense? Just focus on the defense? Or do you try to sneak in for a quick nab of the orb and get a score in before the worms can start doing their craziness? 3 out of 5 for the Path to Glories. All right. See where we end up this time.
The Pyre hearts shall confront
And now,
the chastity.
of course, the question remains,
shall conduct
What do we do this
the
time?
rites.
Will it be more of the same? Will one of us change things up? I don't know. I don't know. The possibilities. The possibilities. What if? What if? What if? Hold on. Hold on. How do I spell this? Like this. Oh no, what has he done? We are locked in. And this one, I'm gonna have to just reference this real quick, see what I just said I was gonna do. Okay. So, this time round,
Sir Gilman.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Exile. Sir Deluge.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Nothing to be seen. What are you talking about? No. Nope, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Bartrude. Exile.
All right, here we go.
Now begin. In honor
What is this?
of the scribes,
What is this? Oh. This is not really the best team defensively for this. Not gonna lie. This is rather tough defensively to deal with this. Unless and until, say, this happens. Please come back here. I very much need to banish you, like, this instant. This is problematic now. The entire strategy may have just gone backwards. See, like, this is what I mean. On that occasion, everyone was out way away from the Pyre. It's like I just didn't have time to head back to get everyone in position. Like here, I can try to get Udmilda back, but I don't have time. I gotta move her a little bit, which is helpful, but this is sort of the best we can do. There for a little bit. Here's our wall. Oh, freezing everyone. Except for that worm. Well played. Yup, wasted curse hurts. But so does that. One more of those, and that's game.
the Pyre hearts are now favored to prevail.
But that does mean that I'm down Udmilda. Is rather unfortunate. Oh, well timed on the banishment. Oh, that was huge. I've just Gareth back now, and that is rather problematic because you have a worm. Well, oh, I didn't have stamina to jump. No. Quick respawn time or cooldown on the jump. I Again, just Gareth back to defend, which is less than ideal. Try to get Bertrude back. We actually did have time. Luckily. Kinda, sorta. Oh no! I jumped! Missed my opportunity there. Okay. Oh, I got stuck. Okay. 20 damage throw is not enough, but it does mean that I get Udmilda back. So there's that. Okay. Defensive formation here. Switching to the right exile is actually rather difficult when they're this close together. Alright, we'll be able to take the point. Oh, and there it is. GG.
They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played.
Until the stars align.
Alright, that means next up is Pineapple, Laughing Pineapple versus SSC. Thank you, Lag. GG. Trying to throw those worms at me. How dare you? How dare you, is all I have to say. I could not let you advance after doing that. I'm sorry. Just couldn't let it happen.
Well, good game. And I realized that I was muted this entire time, so...
Oh. Well played.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Let me send those invites to SSC and Laughing Pineapple. SSC, Steam is currently saying that you're, well, it's like, has your name grayed out. Maybe it's like you're like, kind of sort of AFK. Hopefully that's not the case, but... Okay. And let me also send that to Pineapple as well. I might have just invited you to watch, not play. Hold on. Hold on. Now I believe I invited you to actually play. That second invite should be correct. The first one may not have been. Okay, and let's just tab in for a second here and verify. I'm pretty sure SSC is going to be player 1 here because I sent the invite to you first, but if one of you could just hit your bumpers on your controller real quick to see which sigil you're moving. Like, is that your player 2, Pineapple? And that's SSC moving the cursor. Okay. At least it would appear. Alright. I believe we have SSC on player 1 here and Pineapple on player 2, so let me throw their names on accordingly. That is not how you spell the word laughing. That is. There we go. Okay. And SSC will be the Chastity, whereas Laughing Pineapple will be the Nightwing. Is that correct?
Yes, I think so.
Wait, did I only... How many matches did I win against Lag? Was that only 2 to 1 there, or was that 3 to 1? I will say I thought it was only 2, and then I saw in chat people saying, "Oh, okay, no, let's take." Like, okay, I guess I must be forgetting one.
I also thought it was 2 to 1.
I thought it was 2 as well.
Might we have jumped the gun? Might we have jumped the gun here?
I don't know.
What? In that case, would we like to... So it seems? Okay. How about, now that we have SSC and Pineapple in here, let's do SSC and Pineapple, and then we'll do the last game between Lag and myself. How's that sound?
Okay. Good for me.
That okay with you as well, Lag?
Yeah, it's fine to me.
Failure is insisting on Lag and myself going first. All right, if you insist, Failure. We'll go back. Okay. Sorry, SSC and Pineapple. We'll get you in shortly. And sorry, Lag, for cutting us off a little bit short there. All right. Get rid of these two. And let's get Lag back in there. We aren't done yet. The score has not yet been settled. There we go. All right. Now, we should be primed and ready to go for the next round between Lag and myself, although... Oh, actually, hold on a second. I am actually player 2, strangely enough. Would have thought otherwise. But apparently, that is the case. Let me do a quick switch around in that case. Let me just switch our names and see if that messes with our brains here a little bit after having just played each other. But from the other perspective, might we see one or perhaps even both of us, just for a split second, thinking that we are the opposite team? I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. Maybe when we're setting up our teams, that'll make it such that we are more in tune with the correct side. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. All right, Lag, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. And so this series stands 2-1 at the moment. So if I win 1, I take it. If Lag wins 2, then he takes it. We are not done yet.
The chastity shall now face.
We're at the Chastity's home arena as well. Oh, man.
Welcome. Who shall
So,
conduct?
we have to send in our teams here. Of course, we did see some, some pretty consistent strats, at least on Lag's side there. Will he switch it up at all? Will I switch it up at all? How to proceed? How to proceed? Okay. I've sent in my team. The Sea Dominion returns. Perhaps some hesitation here from Lag. Knows that this could be his last chance.
Okay.
But we're locked in. So now you're good to go, Lag. And at least to lead things off, it is going to be a worm. Will it be all worms, as we saw Lag do previously? Not necessarily sure. He was going with Vengeful Vow in that first worm there in the past. I think he was going with damage, so this might be a little bit different. Let's see. Well, here's the thing.
Udmilda.
And Lag. Oh, okay, it is different. Certainly different. Going with Headwind here, who, last time I checked, is not a worm.
Edwin.
But I may be mistaken. Alright, let me just double check the order that I said. Okay, that means that I said this one is you. There we go.
Bertrude.
Okay, so it'll be 2 worms. And 1 nomad. Oh, a Titan Tooth. Interesting. Strong defensive setup here from Lag. Not quite the full infinite stamina, infinite worm strategy, but close to it. There's actually not a huge difference between 2 worms and 3 worms. Let's see, and then my last one is... Of course. Most stylish man in the downside. Here we go. Oh, it still triggers Vengeful Vow, mind you. And it is a little bit problematic when we see Lag doing that. Uh-oh. I just flat out don't even know who can catch you. That is a wasted curse there on my side, which does hurt a lot. Oh, I also thought I was going to have that. I did not. That brings back a worm. It does.
Oh no.
But it is not infinite. It is not infinite. And that's unblockable. It has extra damage on it. Okay, that will blow up. Oh, and then you froze me. Well timed. Oh, I was just barely able to stop you, though. Comes Gareth. Throw is intercepted. Woodmilda, try to track you down. That throw's unblockable. Oh, for a second I thought you froze again. You did not. Just, hide behind this real quick. I cannot cancel this jump. It is rather problematic at this point in time. That throw is still intercepted. Ooh, avoided it, but worm number dose is down as well. That is going to be hard to get that off. Still intercepted. Lag has done a great job of doing that thus far. Oh, I don't have any of these guys back. The prone ladies. Everyone's back now. Gotta be a little bit careful. If everyone's standing next to each other, yeah, because of the Vengeful Vow.
No.
There we go. And I can deal damage in 38-point chunks. There is the stun. It's gonna be long enough. Ooh, he can get the throw off. And with C's chance, it's extra damage. That was well timed.
No.
There's a 38-point plunge. Isn't enough to take it here. And I am now down a crone. So it is not perfect by any means. That was bad timing. Bad timing on my part. And that was also very bad timing. There'd be more or less a free score here for Lag, and he has Seize Chance active for the 25, not 15 damage. But now I do get Udmilda back.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a chance right there. That was a chance. Lag had Seize Chance active. Still does, at least at the moment. Oh, and I wanted to deny the one with Seize Chance, but he takes the opportunity with the other one. Now, one score could do it for Lag.
No.
But it didn't.
Good game.
GG. Well played.
Or you could say they managed to avoid defeat.
There are at least 4 worms in those pants. Oh dear. I regret reading that. Well played. Well played, Lag.
Well played.
Until the stars align.
Alright, and with that, that means that we will now head on over to the SSC Laughing Pineapple matchup. They were waiting ever so patiently for us. This will be the last path, okay. Let me get those two back in here. Invite sent to SSC, and... Actually clicking on Pineapple and not some other random person. There we go. Invite sent to Pineapple. Thanks for stopping by, Ruby. Alright, and let's just double check. Yeah, is this SSC here moving your cursor around, or is that Pineapple?
That's me, yeah.
Okay, so SSC will be player 1 in that case. Pineapple will be player 2. Let me set you up real quick, and I do see that that got reset, so we're gonna have to change around the settings just a bit. Noted. Right, SSC. Player 1. Player 2. Will I spell laughing correctly this time? I think I did. Pretty sure I did. Okay, and then SSC will be the Chastity, so that will remain the same, whereas player 2 will not be the Pyre Hearts, because Laughing Pineapple will be representing the Nightwings. There we go. Okay. So, let's just take a second here to make sure that we've got this stuff working properly. I don't believe that Laughing Pineapple is a C. There we go. Okay, and get you on the Chastity over here, and I think I went the longest possible way toward getting the Nightwings there, but there we go. And this was the last path to glory. Ah! No! The reset button. Anyways. We got it. We got it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go.
Path to Glory?
Ah, and Path to Glory. Don't let that one sneak past us as well. There we go. All right. So now the first matchup between SSC and Laughing Pineapple, who... Check my notes here, but I don't believe they played each other in the group stage. This will be the first matchup between them. Possibly ever. Certainly not in the tournament, but may not have played each other in any normal Rite Nights even beyond that. So we'll have to see how these two fare against one another. They'll send in their teams.
My friend was complaining that the bets haven't been opened.
That the bets have not been opened?
Apparently.
I believe they are open. There is one thing that, depending on what country you are from, there are some countries where it is actually not allowed for, like, legal reasons. Depending on what country your friend is from, there's a non-zero chance that that may be why.
I don't think it is. He's in the same country I am.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's still on the Vids and like machine one.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, we'll just give it a second to update in that case. There we go. Now we got the new one up.
Okay.
There we go. So yes, this will be between SSC and Laughing Pineapple, who, like we were saying, have not yet played each other. SSC in the group stage was 2-1, wins against Lag, Aqua, and lost to Cam. Whereas Pineapple was 0-3 to myself, Aqua, and Kurtur. But with them never having played each other, you never really know. We are all locked in, so SSC, you're good to go. Start taking your team if you'd like. And...
my cursor's gone. Sorry.
Nope. What if we... Sometimes we do this, and then we come back, and then that'll work?
I'm just replugging my controller.
Okay, yeah. I'll give that a shot. It's good.
That I didn't...
Go to. There you go.
Okay.
So, historically, what we tend to see from SSC is at least one Cur, and oftentimes one Harp. He's leading off with a Sap here. Going with the extra presence on Manly. And going with Numbing Gust and a little bit of Rekindling, which are two things that are worth noting. Means that if everyone on SSC's side is banished, Pineapple will not be able to sprint, throw, or use any special abilities. is your controller also
Yep.
providing some issues? If you unplug and replug your controller, it seemed like that may have been the thing that fixed it for SSC.
Nope.
Did we make sure that both of you were set for controller in the setup
Maybe.
screen? We
think we
may
did, I
not have
just
done
heard-
that.
I
Was
just
it?
heard a Steam as though somebody got dropped.
Oh, let me double check Steam Remote Play real quick. Make sure we still have you both in here. We do have you both in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of how we had to reset on the menu screen several times, and wondering if maybe we accidentally set one of you for mouse keyboard or maybe even a CPU.
Chastity versus
Alright.
the Night Wings.
This is the same arena, but I suppose it's fine.
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do we want to give them the opportunity to change their teams if they so choose, or do we just want
I
to stick
would
with
think-
the same setup as we were going with last time?
Same.
I think
Yeah,
just
we'll
same
just
is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That meant Manly first for SSC. The additional presence. Numbing Gust and a little bit of Rekindling, if I recall correctly. The real question here is just, will Pineapple be able... There we go. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
There it
Perfect.
is.
We're back in then.
Um,
So for Pineapple's first character... we'll have a Prayer Beads Barker. So look for Barker to be one of Pineapple's more aggressive offensive characters here. Especially in a small arena such as the Book of Rites, this is a great place to have that. Those curves to make it all the way to the Pyre in 1 round of stamina. Then for SSE, player 2 will be Udmilda with a quick throwing talisman, which is significant because those crones have unblockable throws. So to be able to get the throw off more quickly is very dangerous. Ooh, and in the second spot we have Orlek from Pineapple. The Scribe Rock for even larger presence in such a small arena like this. That's going to cover a lot of ground. Not going to give SSE much room to maneuver.
oh, I forgot his masters. Oh no.
Did you
No, I
give him
didn't.
Masters
Okay,
at all?
no,
Or?
it's
Okay,
okay.
you're good, you're good.
It's okay.
Okay, no worries.
No, I got confused. One.
Right.
And it is Tamitha in the last spot here for SSE. You'll have the Luminous Idol, which will give her her stamina back when she picks up the orb. And last spot here for Pineapple will be a Bertrude. And for her, it'll be the Webbed Lanthorn, bringing someone back whenever she banishes someone on SSE's side. Goes for some speed. And here we go. First matchup between these two, SSE and Pineapple. Is there a limit to presence? I believe, technically speaking, 50 is as high as it can possibly go. Where you can show up, or a higher number can show up, but functionally, I believe 50 is the highest, or maybe it's even 40. Big cast here from Udmilda. Gives SSE a little bit of time here, perhaps. Just Orlek back to defend. But Orlek manages to do that. Orlek goes down, as does Barker, and Orlek takes the full 30 seconds to return. In many ways, like he's been banished completely in this round, so it'll be tough to defend here for Pineapple. And there's the unblockable throw from SSE. Does it have enough on it? It does. But SSE extends the lead here. Banishes to Tamitha here. And opts to throw.
In goes the orb.
That'll keep everyone in on SSE's side. Orlek with it for Pineapple. Orlek down. Big cast there from Udmilda. Picks up the orb, has an unblockable throw, and that had enough on it. Even from that type of range. That means one more of those, and that could be game for SSC. In what would be, of course, as per usual, a best 3 out of 5. For truth. She goes down. Orlek. Oh, and SSC with the jump. Lunges for the game 1 victory. I think it's 40 that's the limit on presence. I can't remember if it was 40 or 50.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
But SSC takes match 1.
Until the next Rite.
GG. Well played, you two. And did we say that was the last path? The one that we just did? Thought it might have been. Might be onto something new now. Ever to return? What? At this stage? Alright, that is a Tariq bot song. So let me just turn off the in-game music here. Because we don't have it available to us in versus mode. And match number 2. Let's get going. See where we end up. Hear the water. I think it's going to be the fall. It is the fall. It's only fitting with this song. No, this is not the last ride of the night, despite how it may appear. It is mere coincidence, I assure you. This is just match 2 in this best of 3 of 5 series. But SSC and Pineapple will lock in their teams, tell us who they want to use. Yeah, as with just about every stat, there are diminishing returns the higher you go. So, take Orlek, for example, who already has the highest base presence. Extend that further, and you'll see a small difference, but it's not going to be a huge difference with regard to just how big his aura is.
Choose someone.
And we are going from perhaps the smallest to likely the largest arena. We're locked in, so free to take whatever you'd like here. SSC. See if that changes their strategies, and it already appears as though it will. SSC, I believe, was starting off with Manly in the previous Rite, whereas this time going with Messenger in. Both defensive choices in the first spot, which is interesting, because usually you see people taking their most offensive character in their first spot, but not so for SSC. Pineapple thinking about Hamatha. Going with the Lanthorn on her. So when she banishes someone on SSC's side, she will bring back someone on Pineapple's side. So Hamatha locked in spot number 1. And oh, okay, Orlek switching sides here. This time for SSC with prayer beads. And the extra presence as well. Going for the masteries this time rather than the talisman. And more Orlex at that. Pineapple going with the extra presence on the talisman, which is what we saw last time around. And same mastery setup, I believe, between the two Orlex. And there'll be... Oh, heads up, you might have accidentally switched over. Yeah, Snadra. Appears to be the last spot here with Vengeful Vow, an exploding Snadra for SSC. You don't see it too often. I mean, there are many ways to make a defensive Snadra, but usually that's not the approach that people take. Tend to see people going with Goals Racer for the big power cast instead. And it's looking like it'll be Prayer Beads on Barker for Pineapple here. So perhaps Pineapple's most aggressive offensive character, but Orlek and Pamitha, no slouches in that regard either. Here is Pamitha. Goes flying around, avoids getting blocked, but gets banished. Oh, look at that Tizo. Rather, Messenger Imp, actually. That is, gets rid of everyone. SSC through the portal, but still has a ways to go to actually pick up the orb here. And in that time, Pineapple gets someone back, but can't stop Orlek from leaping in here for the first score of the game. Tizo, out looking for blood. Banishes 2, but Pamitha has the orb. Pamitha drops it. Gets banished. Barker back for Pineapple. But SSE makes it back in with Orlek. And he has Prayer Beads. That means that SSE can keep up that strategy, and Orlek will still be available to him. Pamitha flies over that big banishment. Orlek is here, and with that huge aura, he makes it in for another 25. One or more of those, and it could be game. Orlek versus Orlek. And that's actually SSC's Orlek that banished Pineapple's Orlek. And SSC hip-hopping around. But it's Pineapple with the orb here. Gets knocked out. Orlek back at it. Oh, but sneaks past Barker for the winning plunge. GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright. We'll head on back.
Until the next round.
That means SSE is winning 2-0, and if SSE is to take the next one, would move on to the next round. Pineapple from here on out does need to win 3 in a row if they are to advance. And how are we looking from a song standpoint now? We just had the Never to Return Essence Edition. Are we back for more, or are we just going back to the randoms? It's random song, okay. Random it shall be, and that does mean we'll want to throw on the in-game music here. Alright.
Lagging a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Want to just take a minute here, see if it gets any better, or, I mean, I could uninvite you and re-invite you if that feels like that might be helpful. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do that then. Quick.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of latency this whole time as well, like more than I usually have. I don't know what that's about.
Just double check real quick, see if I've got anything extra running here. Okay. Then, SSC, would you also like me to uninvite, re-invite you, or you feel like you can...
You can.
Might as well?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, let me do that now. SSC has gotten the boot. And... so has Pineapple. Alright, I'm going to send the invite to SSC first here and attempt to keep you as player 1. As to whether that attempt will be successful or not remains to be seen, but... okay. SSC is in. Now let me get Pineapple in here as well.
Yeah, I'm player 1.
Okay, great. Alright, invite sent to you as well, Pineapple.
Here we go.
Random song and then Dread Design? Did someone specifically request random song?
Yeah, I remember that.
Who did that? Who was that? Lag did well done, Lag. Well done. Devious. A devious maneuver. Alright. Looks like we have you both in now. Pineapple, you good to go as well?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, perfect.
The connection seems a bit better this time.
Okay, great.
The chastity shall now face the Night Wings. Welcome.
So, Carnival will be.
The rites.
See how, if at all, that may change teams that these two opt to choose. Seen a lot of Orlek. And surprisingly, has not been someone that many other people have been taking in the tournament thus far. I think we saw, perhaps last week, Pineapple used him a fair bit, but may have been one of the few people to do so. He was, of course, a mainstay in the previous tournament, the Solian Cup, way back when.
Well,
And that is true. It is do or die here for Pineapple. We're locked in. SSC is mixing it up a bit. Did go with an Imp first last time, though I don't think it was with the Legendary Imp Talisman. I may be mistaken.
Messenger Imp.
Then on Pineapple's side, have certainly seen a lot of Pampa. It has typically been with the Lanthorn, yes. So sticking with that here. Masteries-wise, looks similar as well. And yes, indeed, more Orlek. And more prayer beads. Was a successful recipe last time for SSC. So sticking with it here. And Bertrand with the Legendary Talisman casts through barriers. And Stubborn Flame means that if SSC takes the lead, SSC will from then on deal 10 less damage anytime he scores. So very strong defensive mastery there. And then Vengeful Vow for Splody Snadra. This is looking awfully similar here to the previous team that SSC opted to take. There will be a Prayer Beads Barker. Finish things here for Laughing Pineapple. So here we go. The series stands 2-0 in favor of SSC. Can he finish it here? Or does Pineapple have a comeback in store? Everyone down here for Pineapple, though. So certainly opportunity SSC. Can Barker stop Orlek? Yes, he can. Here's Messenger. Oh, and here's Orlek once more. Comes back with a vengeance. With a 25 damage plunge. Like we were saying before, he has Prayer Beads, so he's coming back. Pampa leapfrogs over Messenger and into the Pyre. For a 20 damage plunge here. Now, Pampa did not have Prayer Beads. She's not coming back. That is Barker, who I believe has them on Pineapple's side. Gertrude got close, but banished here. And without a Pampa, that leaves Pineapple defenseless. Orlek plunges for another 25. Pampa back at it here. Blocked. Banished. And as things currently stand, defenseless. No one back to stop Orlek. But SSC there, the damage is 10 lower. Now that SSC is in the lead, that is the Stubborn Flame from Bertrude taking effect. As we see here, just 15 rather than the usual 25 damage. So that will slow SSC down and give Pineapple more time. Try to come up with a comeback here. But easier said than done. Because Orlek just keeps on coming. Another 15 damage plunge there. Ametha. He plunges once more for Pineapple. SSC again with the aggressive banishments from Messenger Imp to set up Orlek. And that's all it takes.
The chastity prevail. The scribes themselves
GG.
surely have taken note. The rite is ended.
Well played, you two, and that means that SSC moves on, taking the series, head to the next round.
Until the stars align.
And with that, we will move on to our first match in the next round of the bracket. Take a quick peek there at where things currently stand. That means that we have Cam against Aqua will be our next match, and then we'll have myself against SSE. This will be our semifinals here. Also, worth noting that I believe we will try to, assuming people are available, go for a third place match as well for the people in the semifinal who do not advance. SC's like, that's the team that my brother always takes. I hate playing against it. But well played. Alright, let's get our next players in here. Thank you, Pineapple, and thank you, SSC. But next up are Cam and Aqua. So let's get them in here. Alright, invite sent to Cam. And invite sent here to Aqua. Okay. And Cam, I believe, will be on mouse keyboard, whereas Aqua will be on controller here. We'll set up Cam on this side as the essence, and I'll start sending them up on stream with their names and sigils as well. Like I said, Cam will be the essence, whereas Aqua will actually also be the Nightwings. Retread designs in the queue now. Okay. We're trying to send a message here? Are we trying to summon he who shall not be named? Red design. And we do have the in-game music on, so we're good to go there. Alright, and Cam and Aqua, are you two ready to go?
Yeah, sorry.
Aqua, you as well? These two have faced each other more than any other two players in our tournaments thus far. Both this tournament here, the Golathanian Cup, and also the Solium Cup. So they are familiar foes in that regard. Aqua has won one game in those series. Does that mean he has a strategy to take out Cam here? Or will Cam find a way to continue her success from day one into day two of the tournament?
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So they'll send in their teams here. And we're leading things off at the Nesta Trieste, which I happen to know is one of, if not the least favorite arenas that Cam has. So perhaps opportunity for Aqua to steal one early here. Of course, from Cam, we're likely expecting a combination of harps. We're locked in. Okay, we're good to go. Harps, nomads, and imps. And we'll be leading off with Headwind. From Aqua, we saw him change things around a lot in his previous series with Kurtler, our closest series yet in this tournament. But it does raise a lot of questions as to which strategy Aqua is going to use here against Cam. And the blistering speed at which Cam takes her exiles. It was all left side Headwind with the goals bracer for the big power cast, strong defensive player. Then it was the Tizo with Webbed Lanthorn, another strong defensive character. And her second spot and last one will be Pamitha here. Prayer Beads, half and half, left, right side. A more aggressive offensive character here. And Aqua, oh. No one with the Imp plus double Demon setup that we did see him use against Kurturb. I believe that was the final match of that series. Keep a close eye out for, yes, those demons going through those portals with infinite stamina. But Cam makes in with Pamitha for the first score. Cam, of course, 3-0 on day one of the tournament. Aqua 1-2 on that day, including a loss to Cam. But it does mean that these two, like we were saying, have particular experience against each other, may know what to expect. On this occasion, no one back to defend from Pamitha, so she plunges for another 20, and she has Prayer Beads, so she's coming back. Aqua banishes Headwind. Jody goes down to Pamitha. Raji. Oh no, Pamitha scoops it up and plunges. Raji. Cornered. Goes down here. His Paleth. Crashes in midair with Pamitha and then banishes her. Goes down to Headwind's power cast. Raji takes out Headwind. We're going to take out Tizo as well. And does. Headwind comes back from the Webbed Lanthorn. Oh, there's Raji from Aqua sneaking through that portal for 15 damage plunge. But he does not have Prayer Beads, so he's not coming back. That means Aqua's down to just 2 characters here, and both of them are banished right now. There's plenty of time for Cam. Oh. Okay, charges up a throw. And Headwind, being all left side, does mean that he has 10 leech. So Cam got 10 life back there, in addition to dealing 20 damage to Aqua. It's big power cast. Vids blood through the portal and gets the infinite stamina. Well, ends up in the lava there, so banished. Raji gets her to 1. Oh, but gets the orb. I don't think that's what Aqua wanted there. I think he wanted to just banish everyone, all the defenders. Jody. Oh, Pamitha sidesteps into the Pyre for the win. Cam takes game 1.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly. The right is
GG.
done. Until the stars align.
All right, and that means, I believe we're on what? Dread design number 2 of 3? 4 dread design, of that I'm fairly certain. Pretty sure that's what we were saying before. Yep, okay, perfect. Let's hop back in then. Match number 2. And with a 1-game lead in this best 3 out of 5 series.
The essence.
This time it'll be the Ridge of Gold.
The Night Wings. Welcome.
And we shall see which teams they opt to choose here. I think we did, for the most part, see Cam's go-to team there in match number 1, but she did change things up every once in a while on day 1 of the tournament. Aqua, like I said earlier, has changed, at least today, a fair bit with his various teams. Though historically, has typically stuck to Savages and Saps and Nomads as his 3 primary exiles.
Go.
But it would appear that perhaps someone, at least, is opting to change things up here. Just feels as if someone is perhaps needing to explain how they're changing things up. But they're locked in now. So Cam, you're good to go. Oh, and perhaps that was Cam. Because here you see, already looking very different here, going with Bertrude. Previously, we saw Headwind in that first spot for her. For a little switcheroo here, perhaps. Now, Pamitha going first for Aqua. With the Thorn not defensive talisman there. Now it'll be Tizo with the Lanthorn. Oh, that was equipped. Cam perhaps just a little too fast. And Snadra next, okay. Like we were saying, one of the typical picks that Aqua would make. Here's the Stowaway, which is another one of the characters that we saw Cam take with some regularity last week. And it'll be Dalbert last year with Prayer Beads. Nope, hold on. With Prayer Beads for Aqua. So match 2. Here we go. Bertrude took Prayer Beads, I do believe. So Cam is quite alright plunging with her. She will be coming back. Big power cast there from Snadra. Takes one out. Bertrude's back. This time with 30 damage. Snadra. With the quick throw from the Stowaway. Sneaks past the defenders. Bertrude back again. She goes down this time. Pamitha to Dalbert. Against Tizo. No, Tizo blocks, vanishes, and brings someone back. Stowaway. Cherry picking there with the easy 20-point throw. Bertrude goes down on the Pyre's doorstep. So Aqua holding on here, but only barely. Last minute defensive play. Snadra down. Dalbert runs out of stamina here, or most of it. Stowaway, the throw makes it in for the win. And Cam takes match 2.
The ceremony is complete.
Play.
Until the next rite.
Alright, and now we're on what? Dread Design 3 of 3? Pretty sure at this stage? If I'm not mistaken. And we will be heading into our next match, in which Cam is up 2-0. Therefore, if she is to win this next one, she would take the series and move on to the final. Whereas Aqua, at this point, needs to be perfect. Win the next 3 matches in order to take the lead and take the series. Yeah, I'm fairly certain this is our last Dread Design here. So let us commence. Dread Designs indeed. Perhaps reason for Cam to start breaking out the chromes? Oh, hold on. Oh, I heard the water. And I thought we might have been on the boat. And I was going to say, anything can happen on the boat.
Who shall conduct?
Paul Solium, though, very large arena. Could potentially influence the teams that these two have to take. Did see Cam change things quite significantly in the previous right. And Aqua did as well. So, don't necessarily know what to expect out of these two here. I think the primary question for Cam is largely, what will be her primary score? Will it be Pamitha, or will it be Bertrude, or the Stowaway? Those are the 3 characters that she's been going back and forth between. Whereas on Aqua's side, previously we saw him leaning very heavily on the Savages, but as of late has been going a different route, either with the Infinite Stamina Demons or, most recently, a Cur. And we're all locked in, so Cam, you are good to go. And it'll be Rookie first here for Cam. I believe that is the first, at least for today. And Aqua going back to the Savages with prayer beads. So jumping, primarily, not throwing the Savages. And a Web Lanthorn Tizo next from Cam, as has often been the case for her. And oh, look at that. Typhoon Bottle on Headwind from Aqua means that, much like with Numbing Gust, if everyone is banished on Aqua's side, Cam will not be able to sprint, jump, or throw, or use any other special abilities. And lastly, Viz Palette. So here we go, Aqua's last chance. If Cam takes this, Cam takes the series. Cam leads off with a Rookie Plunge for 20 damage here. Stowaway gets that throw past the defenders for 20 damage. Rookie, back at it. Pops in for 20. Stowaway. Ready to jump, but she gets banished before she can get it off. Almer just barely steps around the cast there, but Rookie takes care of him. Gets back here. Goes down, didn't have the stamina to leap over the defender. Ispalette to Almer. Ispalette down, but Almer off to the races here. Remember, he wants to jump in, not throw it in. Does not have the quick throwing talisman in that. Might have been the difference there between scoring and not scoring. Cam now with Rookie. Hops over, and in. 20 damage, and one more of those, and Cam takes it, and Aqua is no more. Stowaway, the throw, intercepted. Almer. Oh, hold on. I'm getting some lag. Controls look fine. There we go. Almer goes down. Stowaway down as well. Ispalette. Banish just one. Looking to banish a second. But remember, Tizo has that Web Lanthorn, so he brings someone back. Not the best person to just throw yourself at like that. Oh, and the Stowaway. Sidesteps the defender, gets enough space to get the throw off, makes it in for the win, and Cam takes it.
The rite is complete.
And with that, that means that Cam will be playing in the final.
Until the next rite.
Aqua, please stick around. We will have you in our third place match later today. But our next match will be SSC versus myself. Let me give you guys the boot, and I'll get SSC back in here. Or maybe he beat me to it. Oh man, it's like they knew. It's like they knew. Alright. SSC, let me send you an invite here. There you are. Oh, the salute inputs weren't reading, and that's why you stopped for a second. Interesting. Okay. SSC, yeah, just to double check which, oh, I actually need to plug in my controller. Hold on. I think you're probably gonna end up being, well, I don't know which one you're gonna end up being, either player 1 or player 2. who knows? We'll plug this in, make us both controller, and now, okay, I'm player 2, you're player 1.
Right.
Okay, so let me set us up accordingly on stream as well here. The SSC here, and I will be player 2. SSC will be representing the Chastity.
It looks like customize got turned off for you.
Oh, okay. Let's make sure before we forget. Let's throw that on. Thank you. That is important.
It got put onto mouse for me now or something.
Okay. Let me just... I'll set us up on the stream real quick, and then we'll finalize our stuff, because it may just be that, you know, I'm tabbing back and forth, and it's kind of messing around with Pyre a bit here.
Yeah.
Let me put you on the Chastity here. Let me take myself off the Nightwings. There we go. Okay. So, now let's just make sure the game is... my controller plugged in all the way? Oh, well, now it insists on resetting us. Okay, hold on. Let's see. My controller has registered. We do have 2 controllers in now. Okay, so that's a start. There we go. Okay, now just make sure we got Titan, or not Titan Stars, Customize on. And then I will be Pyre Hearts. Get you back to the Chastity real quick. And now we should be ready to go. Did we have Knights of the Sea? Oh man, how about that timing? And SSC, I actually don't know if we played each other before.
Yeah.
Have we?
Remember.
Maybe once?
I might have done once and then you beat me.
If so, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So let's see, we are at the Pit of Malise. We'll send in our teams here. Let me just think for a second as to which team I'd like to have here. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. We are both locked in. Pyre has decided it is now crashing. So, invite sent. Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to tab out from here on out.
Right.
So, let's see if that does anything. Do we want to lock in a specific arena like Pit of Malise, or do we want to just go with another random one? Oh, actually, oh no. You're player 1 and I'm player 2.
Yes. Should we just leave the names? We can change the triumvirates.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Knights of the Sea still?
Yes.
And,
Do we go Pit of Malise? Would we like to? Would we like to just go with a random arena?
Maybe a random arena.
Okay. So, note here that the names on the bottom of the screen and the sigils on the bottom corners of the screen will be incorrect. SSC is playing as the Chastity here. I am playing as the Pyre Hearts, but our names will be reversed. So I'm deliberately not tabbing out in hopes of that making it such that hopefully Pyre/Steam will not crash here.
Okay. I've locked my team in, so...
Okay, I'm gonna go same team as I did last time, so...
Yes. So I have to look up what that team actually was.
Okay. And here... Gareth. This, and this, and this. Ooh. What is this? Oh, quick throwing with Milda. Very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. Okay, with Stubborn Flame as well. That's tough. Okay, so then let's see. This is my bottom character, which means this one is Tizo. And Tizo has the Lanthorn.
Tizo.
Okay, and my last one here is Gilman. And he's doing something like this and that. All right, and here we go. First matchup between SSC and myself. Like I said, we may have played each other once a long time ago, but it has been quite some time at that, if that was in fact the case. Oh, I wanted to banish you before you did that. How dare you? That throw makes it in. Gotta let the Knights of the Sea carry me. Oh, how did I end up all the way over there? Ah, you sidestepped me. Well done. I'll maneuver. I don't think I can make that from here. There we go. Oh, but you do have Numbing Gust, which is a little bit problematic here. Oh, quick enough. Thought I could sneak it in. Ooh, and you shielded from that as well. Well done. There we go. Ooh, yes, that makes it in. That'll be a tiebreaker, at least for now. We keep crashing into each other. Ooh, I could sneak past. No such luck. Here's the Numbing Gust. Oh, and that is an unfortunate place for the orb to end up. Making it in. But that's the Stubborn Flame giving me a whopping 5 damage on a character that, mind you, did not have prayer beads. That was a terrible idea on my side. Ought to have jumped, not casted. That throw will get intercepted. Please switch to Tizo. Thank you. Oh, that didn't work so well. We're both like, we don't really like these characters. Not at the moment, at least. Ooh. Catch up to you. Oh. Some black magic savage jumps there, but not really what I meant to do, to tell you the truth. Well shielded. I didn't really want to jump in. I more so wanted to jump to the side of the fire, and then take it from there. Perhaps not the best of timing there. Oh, that should have banished everyone. There we go. It is a bit of a toughie here. But, oh, Stubborn Flame reduces damage again. And SSC may have some rekindling here. He might be about to find out. Am I willing to lose Gareth here? Not sure I am. Bro is unblockable though, and it does make it in for whopping 3 damage. It gets me everyone back here. It's the primary objective of that. And I don't think it's going to have enough on it. Okay. Ooh, speedy enough that I couldn't catch you. Well played.
a stroke of fortune ought
Okay.
to be thanked.
Well played.
Thus ends
Yeah,
this
the
month's
Pyre
proceedings.
crashed 3, maybe even 4 times in a row. So we're deliberately trying to not tab out here in order to possibly avoid it in that way. Not entirely sure. I mean, it worked. This time we were able to conduct a rite, which more than we could say previously.
Yeah, do you see what I was doing there with the Luminous Idol?
Yeah, what was that?
Just because Hobbs have a really fast throw, you can just drop it and pick it up again and replenish your stamina.
Ah, clever. Very clever. Okay, and we are on to acoustic dread design, which means we're actually turning off the in-game music. Going to Tariqbot. And SSC with a 1-match lead here in best 3 out of 5 series. Winner here makes it to the final to play against Camp. Let's head in. And acoustic dread design is quite quiet, but at the same time, I can't turn it up because otherwise I'm tabbing out and potentially going to crash the game.
Shall now face the Pyre Hearts. Welcome. Who shall
Okay.
conduct the rites?
I'm gonna go... high fashion here.
Okay. I think
We're
that's
locked
what-
in? Okay.
Yeah, same team for me.
Okay, okay. Okay. That means for me, it is a bit different. It is a bit different, you see. Ooh, still dangerous. Still very dangerous, yep. That Stubborn Flame was a big difference maker last time round as well, for sure. Let's see, is this bottom spot is you. I'll think about this in reverse order, being player 2. With the Lanthorn.
Tizo.
And the last one is, well, I mean, you guessed it.
High fashion.
Uh-oh. Remembered the name. That's not good. Here we go. There we go.
Pyre Hearts make their mark upon the flame.
Oh, I kind of got stuck there. Not this time. One moment for the orb to return, please. There we go. Oh, what? 9 damage on a quick throwing Savage? That's hard to do. That's actually hard to do. Ooh, that did not blow up on you. That was supposed to blow up on you. Oh, that might have also been... Yep. Oh, no, you have Stubborn Flame. That's why it's dealing less damage. I was like, what? Surely not, right? Oh, that was less than ideal. That was as well. Step number 3. Here we go. Oh, well, I missed. There's that. That Stubborn Flame is going to be very frustrating.
Yeah.
A second wind.
Go.
Really negligible
It's a game of patience. Chipping away.
into the adversary's
Oh, that was probably not the best idea to fly into you. What? The orb?
Bask in the
but I jumped over it, which is not the way you pick it up. Also, not the best of moods. Yeah, I know what the deal is with Udmilda. I also don't actually want these out that. Thank you, but no.
A weak attempt, and yet it hit the mark. The orb.
There we go.
An impressive thrust, but true.
Whittle away! War of attrition. Eventually. Eventually. Maybe. Possibly. Oh, you're on me now.
What happened there?
I was hoping to get both. I did not. One moment, please. One moment, please. Oh, no! Didn't work. Also, please go away, Hampa.
Into the adversary's flame.
Okay.
Tis what the scribes ordain. Now end the ceremony.
I cannot end the ceremony. Stubborn Flame will prevent me from doing so, I'm afraid.
Barely a mark against that flame.
2 damage. Again, difficult to do. You don't see that very often. Oh! To the lava I go. Hello there. We did intercept. Well played. No, I would like Tizo, after all. Oh, didn't quite catch you.
Of freedom.
That's gonna hurt. Yep. Oh, I'm out of stamina. I cannot jump when I'm out of stamina. This is true. This is true. I also probably, yeah, do something about this. That's gonna get caught. One moment, please. Ooh, I kind of wanted to go a little bit further first. That was also quite silly.
Now to the flame.
No. None of that, please.
Barely a mark against that flame.
One more of those, except he might have rekindling. I don't recall. That may. Oh, I have the orb. I knew that. I totally knew that. I definitely did not forget about that. I also should not have done that. That was a bad move. That did make it in.
Aimed thrust.
Cut it ever so slightly short, but that is significant. Because I'm at just 23 power life. Oh, you went out on that one. Oh. Not so great a move on my part. Ooh, that infinite stamina play! There it is with the Luminous Idol. Well done. Clever trick.
Someone prevail already.
Oh, not good enough. Out of stamina. Build it down. Gives me Pam at the back. Ooh, and he sprints up.
Tis taken.
Oh, he's mid-throw animation, but it wasn't good enough. It's not gonna be Manly. Not gonna be Manly making the moves, and Tamitha is down here for good. Mind you. Oh, went for the heart push, but it wasn't enough. The heart push was not enough. Wow. That throw is dangerous. Oh, but he goes for the jump and makes it in. Well played. GG. Great match.
But no.
This is very stressful.
The rite is ended.
All right. SSE up 2-0 here. One more and SSE takes it. We're looking at an SSE versus Cam title unless I can come up with a comeback here. And the third seed upset the second seed. I mean, is that really much of an upset? I mean, basically in match, but who knows? I would need 3 in a row to prevent it. It's true. It's true. And what do we have for our next song? Are we back in-game music? We're going back to Tariqbot? Grand Ceremony. Okay, that we can certainly do. Let's turn back on the in-game music here. And let us begin. SSC's got my team names down, so can't fool them.
Just that one.
Oh, man. Blade of Lou. It's SSC's home arena.
Who shall conduct
Let's see.
the rites?
What do I want here? What do I want here? My phone is away. It might not even be charged, to tell you the truth, but I'm pretty sure I can just throw a name out there and SSC won't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Right. I'm gonna go pop fashion. It's more manly. And let's see, pop fashion means fast fashion, Air Jordan, high fashion, which team is this? I don't know. I don't know.
Exile.
Derelict. Hate to see the stubborn flame. You hate to see it. But it's back. It's back. Alright, let's see. Bottom is Tizo. Whoa, 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 Arumi. Excuse me? Just a savage? Just a savage. The most fashionable man in the downside. Just a savage? His looks are savage, I'll give you that. I'll give you that much. Miss Idol, Tamitha is back as well. It's an interesting one. Let's see, so last is Gilman. And he will have Vengeful Vow.
Sir Gilman.
Here we go.
Begin.
And once again, we crash into each other, and in doing so, I go flying halfway across the universe. That was bad timing.
Glory first to the charity.
Nice to see with the first one here. There we go.
No law against throwing in the
Ooh, not quite full damage there, which is unfortunate. But in some ways, actually, surprisingly a good thing. It does mean that Stubborn Flame will not be active. It is a blessing, I would say in disguise, but I don't think it's in disguise. It's pretty clearly a thing. Ooh, couldn't quite get the jump off in time, I'm afraid. But SSC couldn't quite get the throw off either. Oh, well timed on the blink there from Manly. So infinite stamina back, gets back again. Is her thing.
glory to the scribes.
That change of pace, it's tough. It is very tough. She's back. Back for more. Aerith is back as well, but not for long, I'm afraid.
The orb is out.
Unless... I really would have liked to have probably taken out Tamitha instead. There we go. That's not really who I want with it. Or is it? There it is. Just bait it out. Just bait it out.
The Pyre hearts seem hungry for their glory. Oh,
There we go. Oh, stuck. Stuck on that. Gareth, just don't step on those, though. Okay.
merely a glancing blow.
Pretty sure Stubborn Flame is now active. Pretty sure that's what we were seeing there. Oh,
Quenches the flame.
perfectly timed with the going from flying to not flying. Otherwise, I would have had you there. That was interesting, is what that was. One moment, please. Darn it. Worth a shot, I suppose. I didn't really want that, but I'll take it, I guess. Gonna be a little while here. I'll take it.
Righteous fire.
Okay.
None left unscathed.
Okay. That was probably not what I ought to have done there, though.
Subtly banished.
One moment, please.
Into the adversary's flame.
Boom. Oh, not boom. Darn it. Boom. Oh, just one. Just one, unfortunately. Here it comes. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, I thought I had the angle. Thought I could speed pass. I'll take that. Manly is coming back. Oh, but I'll take that. No! Bad timing! I had the portal set up for the instant plunge. Darn.
Now go on just once more.
Our push nearly did it there. It's kind of banking on it not succeeding, but that was close.
Flung with force of will.
Oh, and no Stubborn Flame. So the full 20 damage means any score would do it now for me.
But to prevail.
Oh,
There.
she's quick, and she finishes it. SSC gets it in with Tamitha for the win. Well played.
Their adversaries put up
Yeah,
quite
you too.
effort.
Good game.
The rite is complete.
Well done. That means that SSC will advance to the final for a matchup against Cam.
I really didn't think I'd win this matchup.
You got some good strats there. I really did not know how to deal with the Tamitha with Luminous Idol. That was a new one for me.
I was wondering if that was a thing somebody had done before.
I don't think I've seen it before. At least not that deliberate of a throw it, immediately pick it up, get the stamina back. It does remind me a bit of the Ninja Savages that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Alright, and that means that for this one, we'll go with the bronze match now between myself and Aqua, and then we'll have SSC and Cam finish things off with the final.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping by, Anor. Give SSC a chance to recover from that tense series. Well played, SSC.
I don't need that. See you for now anyway.
Alright, so let's get... I do need to tab out now, but get Aqua back in. invite. Let me move SSC for now. And I suspect I'll end up being... Well, I guess I'm player 2 right now, so you're probably going to end up coming in as player 1, Aqua. Yeah, now I'll try changing the names around. That's right. So as a reminder, we had the names switched around in the previous series, so I actually... No. There was... we were deliberately not tabbing out, because it seemed like whenever I tabbed out, the game was crashing. So SSC was actually the one on the left as player 1, playing as Chastity. I was actually player 2, playing on the right as the Pyre Hearts. Despite what our name said down in the corner there. That was somewhat deliberate. Yeah, so now player 1 is going to be Aqua, I do believe. I think I'm going to stay as player 2, which I was before. Despite what the names would have suggested. Yeah, it's weird, because obviously I was tabbing out plenty at the beginning, but then later on, once I started doing it, it started... I mean, we don't really know if that was the source of the crashing, it just clearly had a series of crashes in a row, and seemed like it was a potential solution. Okay, so I'll be in here as player 2, then player 1 will be the Nightwings with Aqua. Okay. Aqua, do I have you in here yet? Sent you the invite, but I can resend it if you need. Oh, and I'll be on control as well. That would suggest that you're not in yet. Yeah, that is true. That will sometimes work, the unplugged replugs, but it's a little gimmicky. But, is Aqua still... Is Aqua still here? Is he around for the third place match, or is he abandoned ship?
Hey, sorry.
There you are.
Want something.
No worries. Do you need me to resend you an invite, or do you still have it?
I still have it.
Okay.
I was hoping someone would convey the message I sent in Twitch chat that I could not join immediately.
Oh, I might have missed it. Sorry. Patience. Alright, no worries, no worries. What song are we up for in that case? Do we have one for this, right? Or are we back to the randoms? None! Oh, okay. I see how it is. Aqua throwing in a Skydance. Okay, we can make that work. You'll let me know when you are good to go, Aqua. Yeah, now the queue is coming back. Okay, I mean, we may not have very many rights remaining. This is the third place match, and then immediately afterward, we will have our final between Cam and SSC.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Aqua just needs to refill the queue,
Sorry.
and then he's good to play. Controller, nah, that's second priority.
There we go.
Alright.
Now I'm ready.
Fills up the queue first. Alright. It's true, if we add one more, we have the bare minimum in terms of how many we might need to make it through the rest of the night. So this is the third place match. Best 3 out of 5 between Aqua and myself.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And I don't know, am I safe to tab out now? I mean, obviously I was tabbing out previously. Do I tab out to tell you? I don't know. I don't think Aqua knows the names of my teams. Go for the tab? Alright, I'll tab. No turning back now. Alright, I have locked in. And we're both locked in. All right, Aqua, you're good to go. We'll lead off with Almer. Question is just, is he throwing or is he plunging? He's plunging. Okay, and what did I say? I said this one, right? Pretty sure I said this one. Let me just double check. I said this one, right? Pretty sure I said this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Which means this? Aqua going with Snadra here, and one might expect a Volfred next. Given what we've seen thus far. Let's see, my bottom is Tizo. Yeah, we've seen a fair bit of nomads, but not a lot of sacred bonds today. Strangely enough. Okay, notably, he does not have the infinite stamina setup here, coming through a portal. And let's see, my last one is, well, I mean, you can guess it, right? Gotta have a Gareth appearance. Here we go! Match 1 between us two. Oh, that was silly of me. Also out of stamina on that. Let's just continue to throw our characters at Aqua. I know it's over here somewhere. There it is. Intercepted though. Banished though. And banished again. Good old-fashioned snapcast. Oh. Hello there. Maybe I won't go through that portal then. On second thought. Oh. Just barely ended up on that. Oh, everyone is gone here. Aqua with the power cast, sneaking those in. Not even realized. Aqua with the first score here. I was waiting for you to teleport. You didn't do it! But you always do it! Why did you do it that time?
Because when you start with prayer beads, there's a brief moment before they jump in.
There we go. Ho ho! There we go, as well. Get some of those quick throws off.
The two triumvirates are neck and neck.
There we are.
Stricken from afar.
That's more like it.
The chastity's adversaries gained an edge. The fires wane.
Look at the style, poise, and grace, right?
Once more
But
like that, and we are
why male
finished
models?
here.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was gonna get both. Darn. GG.
The Pyre hearts prevail. Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright. We'll head on back. And we have quite a queue at this point, in terms of songs, right? Well, having Pineapple's still here. Glad to see you. Will of the Scribes. Alright, let's head back in then. See where we end up. I hear the water.
The night wings
I think it's the boat.
shall
It is
take
the boat.
on the Pyre hearts. Welcome.
Okay. We haven't seen much of the boat today, to tell you the truth. Very little boat action thus far. for whatever reason, now I need to think of which team I might want to use on the boat. And, well, I think the answer is probably that. Might actually be the first. I don't know. I know we had a few false alarms where we're locked in, so feel free to go. Free to go, Aqua. Yeah, a few false alarms where we heard the water and I thought, is it going to be the boat or is it going to be Fall Solium? And I think every time it was Fall Solium, so this may actually be our first, yeah. See if that changes anything. Demon. With a Scribe Rock Demon. No, I'm realizing that the way in which I described my team was top, middle, and bottom, which is not the most obvious, especially when you're player 2 on the boat. You can switch the orders here. Okay, like, is this technically top, I guess? Right? And then the second one is middle, and then the last one is bottom, quote-unquote. Sort of. Maybe I'll go that route, I guess. Something like that. I don't know. Something like that, at least. Bottom is third pick? Yeah, okay. So I think this is just about as close as you can get. Oh, no, this is a... Wait. No, this is wrong. This is the wrong team. That's not the team that I said I was using. This is top, I said, in which case this is actually... you. Almost started using the wrong team there. Almost.
Exile.
Just mess with Aqua's head. I mean, Aqua's already locked in, of course, so not that really changes much. Okay, so yeah, we're getting Infinite Stamina Demons, in case that wasn't clear.
Exile.
Okay, so this is middle, quote unquote.
Demons and imps, they're both real good on this map.
That's true. That's true.
It just works.
I was tempted. I may specifically have a team that was intended for the boat map, just to take full advantage of the crazy boat physics. That team may or may not have been called Air Jordan. There are the Speedy Demons, the last one, and I think the key for me will be Tizo here. Can he put these demons to a stop? Time will tell. So here we go.
Now begin. Beware the
Yeah, well, that's not good. There's your infinite stamina, but enough of that, please. Oh, okay, apparently I'm over there now. Not exactly where I thought I was going to end up being, but sure, we'll go for it. Oh, whoa! Also didn't see that one coming.
Quite the close call there, no?
Can I make it in from there? I don't know if I can. Oh, hello, Jody.
The orb has hit the mark. The orb.
That is Gareth. Okay, cool.
The orb flies true.
It's also Gareth, which is also good. I somehow snuck that in between those two demons. Don't ask me how.
Your victory is at hand.
That's not really where I wanted Gareth to end up going, in case that was not clear. Oh, no, not Gareth. Tizo, please. Thank you. Ah, saw it coming, but just a little late to react.
Adversary's flames.
No, not enough on the jump. Alright, Senor Tizo. I don't like Tizo hanging out there, though. Ooh, thought I had it. Thought I had it. That was also kind of silly. Should have just gone for the banishment there. Not even picked up the orb. Why, hello. I miss, apparently. Didn't have enough on it. And you banished me? I guess you have bigger war. We'll give you that. Yeah, well, I mean, we know what's going to happen here.
Swift recovery. There.
Hello. Goodbye.
And it is done.
GG.
The Pyre hearts prevail. 'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood
Damn,
by
I am
their
getting
side.
crushed here.
The
I just can't
ceremony
beat Gareth.
is
There's just no way.
complete.
He's just too stylish. There is no stopping him.
Until the stars align.
Okay. Next in the queue, if we have one. I think we do. But, 2-0 lead for me here means one more win, and I have taken the third place, the bronze medal, if you will. Whereas at this point, Aqua needs to sweep the remaining 3 games if he's to take it from me. Yeah, and so the standings are from last week, if you want to see how people fared and how the seeds got made, whereas the bracket is the thing that's probably a little bit more relevant for today, the actual results from today's component. Path to Glory next? Okay. Here we go. Let's head in. See where we end up.
The Nightwings versus the Pyre.
Okay. Rich of Gold.
Welcome.
Okay.
Who shall conduct?
How about...
rites?
How about... What if we say... Went with something like... I don't think we've done this yet today, have we? It's maybe it's time to break out some fast fashion. Which admittedly is going to be kind of hard to do against Volfred here.
Volfred.
You'll see what I mean in just a second. What were the talismans I said I was going to take on these? Hold on. Remember the Order of the Exiles, not the talismans, though. Okay. That, then that, then that. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. It's my usual. Come on. How could I forget? How could I forget?
Sir Gilman.
Did he go Speedy Volfred? No, he didn't. He went for something else, didn't he? Oh, man. Palmer, the plunging kind. And then bottom. Bottom is you. With you.
Exile.
And he's going Snadra, okay. So a similar team to what we've seen Aqua take many times before. And then, I mean, you probably guessed it, but the last character here is obviously... No, it's not Snadra, it's Deluge. It's Deluge. Alright, here we go. Bring on the worms.
Glory first to the Pyre hearts.
Triple worm meme dream. Bring it on. Ooh. Hold on. Attempt number 2. Scene angle here.
Flung with considerable precision.
The Boing Boys are back at it again. Not gonna make it? That is gonna make it.
Force of will behind that thrust.
Ooh, hold on. I'd like to get some stamina back, please. That'd be ideal. Yeah, we'll just plunge. Less than ideal, but so be it. Try to sneak in a throw, but just a little slow on it. Little slow on it. There we go. That's the throw we're looking for.
Far into the Pyre's flame.
Couldn't go a day without the worms, could I? Just wouldn't be right. Ooh, that was a bad time to decide to go out from behind that barrier.
There it is.
Hold on. Attempt number 2. Attempt number 3.
Sublime.
Does the throw charge up faster in air? I don't think it does, but the worm throw is the fastest in the game, I believe. So it is quite fast.
Beyond all reason,
Does have some rekindling.
flames yet
I don't believe it has to charge at all in the air.
It does, yeah, it does. Like, on a few occasions here, I've had throws that have been partial damage. And that's because I've been cutting them a little bit short.
Now to the flame.
Ooh, almost got me there. Oh, you did get me there. I can nab that. Zoom! Oh no!
Unexpected.
Another zoom! There it is.
Done. The Pyre hearts prevail.
All right.
GG.
And what a crushing victory it was. The right is
Yeah, it's just
done.
really, really fast. And it does charge mid-throw. So it doesn't look like you're charging it up. But it's actually in mid-air that you do the charging.
All right.
That's why it looks instantaneous.
Until the stars
I've
align.
got some stuff I've got to do, so I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.
Alright, thanks for stopping by, Aqua. And that means that our third place component has been complete. I've claimed the bronze, but the gold is still for the taking. The cup itself, that is down to SSC and Cam. A matchup that we did in fact see in the earlier stages, the group stage of the tournament. The only person who has taken a game away from Cam thus far is SSC. We'll see how they both fare now. Alright, so let me send you both an invite here. Invite sent to you, SSC, and then Cam, you are right here. Invite sent to you as well. And we should have one of you on mouse keyboard, the other on controller, so really either one of you could be player 1 or player 2. I know Cam has a strong preference. I don't know if SSC does.
Okay. Is that right?
We got SSC in. I'm not sure if Cam has... Is Cam in yet?
I'm having a few problemos, but okay,
Oh.
I think it's good.
Need me to uninvite you or reinvite you? Would that help at all?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Wait.
Let me... Yeah, just switch you over to the Essence, and let me also throw your names on the stream here
Ew,
real
I'm
quick.
player 2. Ew.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, but I know that Cam has a preference. Well, maybe it's the advantage that SSC needs here. After going down to Cam 2-1 in the group stages, but it's the final. Anything could happen. These two have had time to practice. It's been a week. And I'm not sure if SSC was using that new strat that he was using against me, against Cam. So we'll see. We'll see how they fare. So, SSC is not the Nightwings. SSC is the Chastity. And then Cam is not the Pyre Arts. Cam's the Essence. All right. Oh, there we go. Looks like there was grayed out as if one of you was not ready to go, but it appears as though we are. Song-wise, what are we looking at now? Got 2 thrash packs ready to go. All right. Bring in the energy. So, the first game of the final, again, this will be 3 out of 5 this series here. Yeah, I am seeing, it looks like someone is, like, disconnecting here, or, like, partially disconnecting there, because the commence button is graying out every once in a while, but let's give this a shot here. I'm guessing that's probably what Cam was saying, run into perhaps an issue here or there, but at least as of right now, appears to be fine. These bets are crazy. Should we go all in? I mean, it's the last rite of the night. It's the last rite of the tournament, or at least last series of the tournament. If ever there were a time to go big or go home, this would be it. Stocks only go up. This is not true, but according to Failer, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, anyways, we have SSC in spot number 1 here, or as player 1 as the chassis. We have Cam as player 2 on the Essence. They will send us their teams, lock things in so that they can't counterpick each other. We'll see how they fare. Best of luck to you both. Rumi says I have exactly 0 lid coin. Oh dear. Rumi has quite literally bet it all.
Well,
so we have seen Cam typically going with a combination of harps, nomads, imps, occasionally swapping out one of those 3 for a savage. SSC has been going with some very effective harp strats of his own, different from what Cam is typically doing. Then threw in a crone and a sap, although oftentimes last week we saw him using a cur as well. So those are perhaps the things we are most likely to see here. But then again, we may find that these two have anticipated what their opponent might have here and might switch things up a little bit just to keep their opponent guessing.
Okay, locked in.
Both locked in? You're good to go. SSC, take us away.
Yeah, no tricks this time. Just
I mean, you say that, but maybe you're just trying to get in their head.
I don't have that much foresight.
Well, it's Orlek first here from Cam with prayer beads. A gold Golathanian blessover who emerges victorious from this rite, indeed. It is quick throwing of Milda here. Unblockable throws. Normally they take a while to get off, but with the quick throwing talisman, they're quite quick. Making Milda very dangerous once she gets close enough to get those off. Webbed Lanthorn Tizo, very strong defensive character, will bring people back from Cam's side whenever Tizo's able to banish someone, which is key for Orlek, because otherwise Orlek would take an eternity to come back whenever he gets banished. And it is Tamitha plus Luminous Idol, the combo that SSC used to great effect against me. And then Sir Gilman, with the Vengeful Vow another way to get characters back from banishment. You will explode upon crashing into people. Orlek goes down. Tamitha for SSC goes for the heart push but gets blocked and banished. And oh, look at that. That was a worm ready to explode on the entirety of the opposing team. So now Orlek, the speediest of walkers, or at least among them, gets blocked before he can make it in here for Cam. Knocks back a defender, picks the orb back up, but blocked again. And he brute forces his way in. Not this time, blocked once more, but keeps knocking people back in the process. Blocked again. And this time he goes down. But Tizo explodes and takes out 2 of SSC's characters. It is Tamitha here. His preferred offensive character gets the infinite stamina back whenever he picks up the orb. Uses it to charge into Tizo, but goes down. Webbed Lanthorn will bring back Orlek. So Cam full strength here. Orlek. Blocked once more. Ludmilda banishes Orlek, has the orb here. Remember, has the quick throw, but she goes down before she can get it off. Tamitha against Orlek. Orlek jumps, goes down. Free orb for the taking, though. It's Tizo, and he opts to throw. Just a quick 3 damage throw at that, but that does mean that Cam has the first score here, and Cam did go for the additional starting Pyre life with Orlek, meaning that Cam has 135 rather than the usual starting 100 Pyre life, as you can see there. Orlek down, Tamitha blocked, Tamitha banished, and Orlek back. Here comes Orlek. Jumps. Crashes down, but not banished. Now he is. Tamitha, infinite stamina when she picks up the orb, and she makes it in. Does not have prayer beads, because she took the Luminous Idol. So that means that SSE is down 1 character here. Orlek goes down as well. With Milda, SSE's secondary score, remember, has the quick throw and it's unblockable. Just needs to get within range for that. But with Milda down, that brings back Tizo for Cam, and Tizo probably looking to, try to banish Manly, but SSE shields effectively there. And Cam plunges for 5 damage. That means that Gilman is not coming back now. He did not have prayer beads either. Orlek blocked before he can make it in. But he makes it in this time for 15 damage. Again, Stubborn Flame triggering here, reducing Cam's damage by 10. Meaning that it will take Cam far longer and take far many more scores if she is to emerge victorious here. Orlek continuing to bully his way in, and that he does. 15 damage plunge here. Glide mid-flight. And 2 banishments there with the exploding Gilman. And Orlek down. Milda just barely avoids getting banished by Gilman there. She goes down here. Just Manly back to defend for SSE. Now Tamitha coming back, and Manly enough to get rid of Orlek. Tamitha wants to get the orb here. Does, and sneaks past Orlek for 20 damage plunge here. Manly versus Orlek. Orlek down with Milda. Looking to get a throw off. Tizo back to defend. Gets rid of the orb. Still Tizo able to banish. Manly versus Orlek. Orlek, look at that. Stunned Manly, so he didn't have his aura, and then was able to make it past. Otherwise, Orlek would have been banished. Tamitha. Back here, and back in. Whenever SSE has her back, SSE will surely be looking to score with her. The question thus far has been, can SSE find a way to score when Tamitha is permanently banished after having plunged? Orlek with a head start here. But Manly able to catch up. Strong defensive play there from SSE. Waiting to get Udmilda back. Still takes a few seconds, though. Here she is. Can she get within range? Not quite. She gets banished, and no one back here for SSE. Now it's Manly. Gets a sapling down. Against Orlek, blocked. Orlek blocked again. Orlek blocked again. Udmilda back now. Orlek hopping around. Blocked once more. Udmilda rushes him down. Gets the orb, but goes down as well. Manly certainly not the character that SSE wants to be doing any sort of attacks with, but he goes down as well. Orlek is a quick walker. Despite having Numbing Gust on right now, he is capable of making it in for a plunge, and doesn't matter that he can't throw it. He has prayer beads, so he's still coming back. So Cam building some momentum here. SSE has Tamitha back, and that has been key. And with Stubborn Flame, it will continue to slow Cam down. But Orlek makes it in here. Dropping SSE to 17, meaning 2 scores would do it for Cam. Tamitha down. Orlek gets banished with Milda. To Tamitha. Tamitha picks up the orb again, gets the infant stamina. Harp pushes her way in. This is the challenge here. SSE needs to score now. Needs to find a way to make that happen. Otherwise, Cam will drop him down to just 2 Pyre life. And that may be too much of a deficit to come back from. No one back here to defend against Orlek. But look at that. Udmilda comes back just in time. SSE still in it here. Udmilda down. Well-placed sapling from Manly. Orlek. just barely sidesteps the aura, and he makes it in. There is the 15 damage plunge, dropping SSE to just 2 Pyre life. So SSE running out of time. Orlek down. It is Tamitha here.
Hang on.
Oh,
Controller's
1 second. I see that. Yep, you good now? Saw that Tamitha was running into the side there repeatedly.
Okay, I'm ready.
Better at this stage? Okay. Got it. Tamitha down, though, and SSE defenseless here. 5 seconds until Manly returns. Surely Orlek is fast enough. But there is rekindling. Tamitha. Art pushes, but it's not enough to get in. Justin Milda back to defend. Orlek down. With Milda down. SSE waiting for someone to return here. It is Manly, and then Tamitha followed thereafter. Shielded from Manly. Deflects the aura, banishing 1, but Orlek still has it here. With Milda back, Orlek blocked. Orlek can make it in, that would be game. Banishes 1 defender here. Blocked by the other. And now banished. Oh, double banishment there from Cam. Opportunity here. 3 seconds before Milda returns. Can Orlek make it in time? Yes, he can. Cam takes game 1.
Good game.
Well-conducted victory it was.
GG's.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right. Head on back to versus mode. I believe we had another thrash pack primed and ready to go, if I'm not mistaken. I believe we had 2 lined up. That previous one was obviously the first of them. Yeah, we had 2 thrash packs. All right. That means we're back in for more thrash pack in here. Am having taken game 1. Again, best 3 out of 5 here. And we will end up in the Glade of Luz, seemingly a location that SSE keeps on getting his home arena for the Chastity.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So we'll see what they go for here. Am did change things up a little bit, going with Orlek that last time, when haven't seen too much of Cam using him thus far. Baylor says, put in 3 never to returns in the queue after this. Okay, that's fitting. First Essence, then Chastity? Okay. So, will they opt to change anything up here? The Glade of Luz is fairly unique arena, starting out nice and open, but then gets very confined and very irregularly shaped. So hard to navigate around that. And therefore, maybe reason to switch up teams here. Which may be what we're seeing. I mean, it was a close matchup for sure in the previous, right? It was another very small arena. Pitum Leaf the previous go-around, so perhaps that's reason enough to go with something similar here as well. But these two have yet to lock in, which does suggest that perhaps they are scheming something new up. It's intriguing. Alright, we are locked in now. SSE, you're good to go. We'll see what they've devised here. SSE going with an Imp first. Taub's waiting for the infinite stamina. Strong Talisman, yes, although typically we've seen people use the Webbed Lanthorn. Wonder if that means that SSE might be planning on using that Lanthorn on someone else. It is Prayer Beads Orlek first for Cam, so at least that one is the same as what she did last time. Oh. Orlek versus Orlek, it would appear. Also Prayer Beads. this just got interesting. Second one for Cam. He is the Vengeful Vow Worm. Gilman. Looking like perhaps the quote-unquote meta setup, just with Orlek on prayer beads rather than Star Splitter, meaning that it is in fact allowed, but it is very similar to the team that Phaler rode to success in the Solium Cup back when. And yes, indeed, Web Lanthorn Tizo finishes things up, and here we go. Orlek first for Cam. Gets blocked. Snadra looking to banish him, but he stays in here for now. Picks up the orb. Now he's banished. Orb out in the open here. SSE takes it with his Orlek. Brings back a friend, brings back two friends. Knocks back a defender. That's his Orlek exploded on. Snadra versus Orlek. Snadra brings back a friend or two. Orlek down. Snadra down. Through the portal SSE goes. Flies over one, revives another, and brings back his Orlek. And has time to plunge here. 25 damage. Now, Cam did take additional starting Pyre life, whereas SSE did not. So SSE, despite having scored first here, is technically speaking here, still behind. Gets through with Orlek. And now, after that 25 damage plunge, has taken the lead. And now the arena starts to grow smaller. And we'll see if that affects people's strategies at all, but SSE jumps in again with Orlek, dropping Cam to 60 Pyre life here. The arena continues to go crammed. SSE banishes a few, but Orlek comes back with the Web Lanthorn for Cam. Orlek versus Orlek. He makes it in here for Cam, dropping SSE down to 75, which means still slightly here to SSE. And SSE sets up the implosion on everybody. Here comes Cam with Gilman, who explodes on Orlek, taking him out. Then SSE takes out Orlek, hops through the portal, but gets blocked. Barely avoids banishment there from Tizo. Oh, but jumps on him. Gotta get close to him. Oh, and Cam's gonna be hard to pick up the orb there when her portal is right next to the orb. Free orb here, though. Messenger picks it up, gets banished, though, and that portal not where SSE would like it to be, and SSE is down everyone now. Messenger back in one. And it is quick enough. It is quick enough. But once again, that portal nearby to the orb makes it a little bit hard to pick that up without accidentally going through the portal. SSE has it now. And banishes Orlek. And may have an opportunity here. Sprints in. With an utterly brazen 25 damage plunge here. Extending the lead in the process. And may not have necessarily wanted to have the orb there on Messenger Imp. It's Orlek for Cam, who does make it in. 25 damage plunge here. Keeping things close. Slight advantage, SSC. Orlek for Cam. Blocked. Still in, though. Orb dropped. SSC. With it here. Through the portal. Brings back Snadra. Orlek goes down. Snadra goes down. Orlek comes back. Presses C. Has the orb here. Close to the opposing Pyre and sprints in. You know, a little bit off to the side, but we'll give it to him. And that drops Cam to just 10 Pyre life. One score would do it here for SSE. Cam still needs 2. Orlek for Cam. Blocked. She has it here. Steps away from the Pyre. Plunges. And it's anyone's game. 1 score apiece would do it. In Cam's case, it does need to be Orlek. For SSE, it could be anyone. Speaking of Orlek, here he is for Cam. He gets banished. Orlek for SSC. Gets blocked. Free orb. Cam takes it with Orlek. Orlek down. SSC with Orlek. Avoids banishment there. Knocks back the defenders, but goes down. Brings Cam's Orlek back. Snadra against Orlek. Orlek with some room here. and finishes it. Cam taking match 2.
I thought for certain they would not. The rite is ended.
GG.
Good game.
And with that, that means that Cam now leads the series 2-0. So 1 win, and Cam would take it. From here on out, SSE needs to win all of the matches if he is to take it. What a show we are seeing tonight indeed. No match has been close, it seems. Never to return next. Okay, that means we're going to turn off the in-game music here. This has been a crazy matchup. Here we go. SSC with his back against the wall here. Cam just needs 1 win to take it, but SSC is not going to go down without a fight.
The chastity shall
It'll be the
take
Spring of
on
Jomir.
the essence. Welcome.
And so we'll see
Who shall
if
conduct
either team,
the rites?
either player, opts to mix things up here. We saw both players using Orlek very effectively in the previous match. Will they continue to lean on him here, or do they feel like they might try to go with something that might counter Orlek instead? We'll have to see. Will it be the element of surprise that wins it here, or something tried and true?
Decide.
We're locked in. SSC, back to Manly in the first spot here. Best of luck to you both. On Cam's side, oh, it will be different. It certainly will be different. Seeing a Bertrude played here. Oh, with the Flame Leech for some higher life leech. Haven't seen Cam do much of that yet thus far in this tournament. It's going to be the quick throwing Milda from SSC. And then Rookie, also with life leech, in the second spot here for Cam. Sensing a bit of a theme here. And then the Luminous Idol Tamitha. That will be the last character here for SSC. For Cam, it's a Webland Thorn Tizo. So here we go in what could be the game-winning match here for Cam, unless SSC can come up with a way to eke this one out. Rookie pops over the defender for the first score of the game. 20 damage plunge. And Cam the early lead. With Milda. Can't stop Bertrude here. Bertrude with the jump gets blocked. Milda for SSC goes into Tizo there. Bertrude. Oh, she can't make it. A little bit shy of the Pyre. Blocked there from SSC, but the implosion takes out Manly. Tamitha gets the infant stamina back when she picks up the orb. Sidesteps Bertrude. Waiting to get that stamina back, though. She gets blocked and banished. Oh, and Cam goes through the portal to explode on SSC's defenders there. But Cam can't pick up the orb there. It's stuck behind her portal. Purchased from a different angle. Has it now, but had to waste some valuable time there in the process. SSC able to mount a defense. C gets the infant stamina back. It's blocked. Retreats. Goes in for the fell swoop. Goes in for the plunge. 20 damage there. Leveling the field at 80 apiece. Bertrude down. With Milda. He has the quick throw. Nearly got it off there. She goes down. Just Manly back to defend here. Rookie works his way around into a 20 damage plunge here. Cam retaking the lead. Bertrude down. Tamitha treats, gets the infant stamina back. Just Tizo to defend. Tizo blocks. Goes in for the implosion, takes her out. Oh, no! Misses the mark. Opportunity here for SSE, just Bertrude back to defend, but it is enough for Cam. Bertrude down. Udmilda gets rid of Tizo, but Tizo implodes in the process, taking out Udmilda. Bertrude's back. Leaps in. Stubborn Flame is active, reducing the amount of damage by 10, but still lowers SSE to just 40 Pyre life. 2 more scores could potentially do it. Also, don't forget, Cam has the Life Leech on several of her exiles here, so Cam is back up to 100 Pyre life right now. Rookie blocked. Tamitha. Treats from Rookie, picks the orb back up to get the infant stamina, but as she does so, she gets banished from Rookie. Rookie has the angle, speeds in for a 10 damage plunge. Tamitha, oh, you thought she snuck in? She got banished in the process. Udmilda goes down. Webland Thorn brings back Bertrude. Here is Bertrude. Jumps in. She was flying there, seemingly, but she gets blocked. Manly down. Same with Tamitha, but that orb seemingly within the safety of the sapling. Udmilda. Let's get Tamitha back. Here she is. Picks the orb back up, gets the infant stamina, and oh, looked like she might have had Tizo beat there. But Cam recovers. Oh, and look at that! Sneaks in for a 20 damage plunge. SSE with 10 Pyre life is running out of time. Rookie down. Tamitha blocked. Vanished. Tizo now for Cam. Tizo down. Rookie. Those long strides nearly make it in. But now it's Udmilda. She can throw for 30. It's unblockable. But remember, Cam has been leeching life, so she was back up to 100. Bertrude. Blocked. She's back at it. But the rekindling keeps SSC alive. Second life bar, his last chance. Rookie down. Tamitha with the orb. Gets back to infinite stamina. Gets back up. Goes down here. And Rookie sneaks in for the 10 damage plunge, dropping SSE's Pyre to nothing. And Cam emerges victorious.
Let's go! Let's go! Good game.
Well played, the two of you. Well played, everyone who participated in the tournament, both today and last week. But with that, we have our Golathanian Cup champion.
Until the next round.
And with that, we have the person who was the leader from day one, perhaps, won every series in the group stage, then proceeded to sweep the field here in the elimination bracket. Congratulations, Cam.
Very poggy woggies like that.
Cam, chat is asking for a victory speech here.
Okay, a victory speech. I don't know what to say. I'm really good at this game. 400 hours, by the way. Gonna eat a sandwich now.
There you have it. I'm going to eat a sandwich now. Truer words have never been spoken. Cam, once again, is our Golathanian Cup champion. Well played, Cam, and well played everyone who participated in the tournament today and last week. GG. All right. Congrats to everyone. Strong performances, some new players as well. Strong performances for everyone. And so for those of you who are new to this whole multiplayer Pyre action, yes, we did a tournament today and last week. However, usually we are doing a little bit more of a casual setup in which we'll have people popping in and out whenever they're available and interested, and we'll take requests from chat to do more than just a song, but doing things like exiles, masteries, talismans, arenas, Titan stars, all that stuff. And if you are interested in getting more involved in all that stuff, then the place to go is to join the Rite Club Discord server. That's where we're doing all this coordination stuff here. That is the link right there to join. Oh, thanks, Arumi. If you want more lids, that is also the link for my Discord here. One that Arumi just provided. But that obviously was our final Rite of the night. We have crowned our new champion, Cam, joining Phaler as now the 2 Pyre multiplayer tournament champions of the Rite Club. Congratulations to Cam. So, like I said, if you are interested in getting more involved in all of this stuff, feel free to join the Rite Club Discord server. That is the best way to do that. Other than that, my name is Lids. I'll be hosting these Rite Nights every 3:30 p.m. US Eastern Time on Sundays. And other than that, on Fridays, I will be playing some Witcher 3 Blind. Dare I say, I am close to finishing The Witcher 3. Words that I never thought I'd hear myself say. On Saturdays, we are doing Path of Exile and or Hades, combination of those. And then on YouTube, also Lids Vids there, I will post the VODs for these Rite Nights. If you missed anything, you can catch it there. Also posting the VODs for the Witcher 3 streams. And doing a bunch of Gwent, the Witcher-themed card game, videos there as well. Maybe even sinking in the occasional Hades video here and there for YouTube as well, so be on the lookout for that. If you haven't done so yet already, you can of course hit the follow button to get a notification when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I'll post there when I go live as well. But that is it for me for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the tournament. And I'll see you all next time.